All right, guys. So this is the thing I was talking about on me passing a 150K Top Step account. Now, I did buy a fresh Top Step combine in the amount of 150K, and I want to show you guys the trade that I took today because again, I'm going to be documenting every single trade that I take on this fresh 150K Top Step combine to prove to you guys that all you really need for 2024 is just to focus on one model, which I recommend the unicorn model. But I'm going to show you guys what I took today, why I took it, the risk management behind it, why I ended up taking here and not leaving a runner up to there. I did on my other account, and I did post that in the Discord in Tactical Traders. I posted the call out here, and I took this on the fresh 150K account and on my other accounts as well. But let me go ahead and show you guys why I ended up taking this trade right here. Obviously, it's a 15-minute unicorn, but I want to show you guys why I didn't end up rushing into any trades and why I ended up taking it off all here on this fresh account, and why I didn't end up leaving runners up to this high. However, I did on my other account, but on this one I didn't, because again, remember in the risk management video how I told you guys whenever you start a fresh account, you kind of just want to build up that drawdown. You want to get over that drawdown threshold and stuff. That is basically what I am doing here. So again, I'm going to be documenting every single trade on this account. I don't know how long it's going to take. I'm going to try to get it done as fast as possible and get a payout because I want to make this into just one video. This video is just going to be a series of me breaking down trades as I take them. I'm not recording anything live. I'm just going to be trading. I'm just going to be showing you guys the trade breakdowns basically, okay, on this account. But basically, I called this out in the Tactical Traders Discord. It is a 15-minute unicorn. Now, if we go to the 5-minute time frame as well, you guys will see that there was an SMT divergence here. So this low, if I hover over this low on NQ, it is that low there on ES. You notice how ES was continuously making lower lows and NQ refused to not make a lower low and to not pierce this low right here. Now, remember what I said in that SMT video, guys. Whenever you guys see that discrepancy, that non-correlation between two correlated assets, that is going to tell you and let you know and give you clues that smart money is probably going to reverse the move. Now we had an SMT there, right? Now if we go to the 1 hour, what do we have? We have a tap of this 1 hour fair value gap right there. You guys see that? We barely tapped into it. And then on the 4 hour, we also had a 4 hour fair value gap on ES. So remember what I said. SMTs are very high probable when you have a tap into a higher time frame PD array, such as a fair value gap. So I seen that, and I seen people trying to short this, which was invalid in my opinion, because we're in very huge imbalances, right? We're in higher time frame PD arrays, so we have an SMT there. It's very high probable SMT. So I kind of knew that we were probably going to reverse and run through this 15-minute fair value gap here on NQ. We had an imbalance there on the 15-minute. I had a feeling that we were going to push up just based off that SMT and in that higher time from PD array as well on ES. So I had a feeling that we were going to push up. We ended up pushing up, and then I started using the quarterly theory as I taught in the previous video before this one, how I just show you guys how I break down the New York session. I was kind of looking at that, and I seen that this was like an X, and then the accumulation of longs was happening around here. And I wanted to wait for this 15-minute candle right here to close because I wanted a fair value gap. I seen the displacement and speed in this candle breaking structure, breaking this swing high right here, forming a valid breaker block right there, right? So I wanted to see this next 15-minute candle close, so I waited and waited and waited until this 15-minute candle closed. And then I ended up placing a limit here at 16,717, which comes in a little bit right there at the fair value gap, right at that 15-minute fair value gap. So as soon as I seen that 15-minute fair value gap form, I ended up longing 2 contracts here on this fresh new 150K account. And as you guys can see, I made about 971 bucks. It would have been way more if I would have held a runner. But the reason why I didn't hold a runner was because if I place this line here, and this is where I took the profits, was because right before we dipped into this 15-minute fair value gap, we left equal highs here on the lower time frames. As you guys could see here on this 15-minute bearish candle, we had a high there and a high there. And this right above that high right there, right above these equal highs, is London session high, that short-term high right there. That's why I have that marked. So I ended up taking all of my profits here. I got in down here. I ended up taking it all off right there because, again, it's a fresh new account. I want to get over that drawdown threshold and start risking just a little bit more so I could pass the account. But that is pretty much the trade that I ended up taking. Perfect little unicorn, break of structure, fair value gap, place a limit in that fair value gap. And then I had my stop down here, which was about $1,000 stop, I believe, if I would have got stopped. So this was like a 1-to-1. Let's actually see. Was this a 1-to-1? I believe this was a 1-to-1. That is a short position tool. So if I put my stop, it was like right here. That's where I had my stop. And then I was aiming for, yeah. So yeah, pretty much a 1-to-1. Like I said, guys, a lot of these unicorns, they sometimes differ. Sometimes it would be a 1-to-1, a 3RR, a 5RR. So if I would have held this position all the way, this would have been a 3RR risk to reward ratio, which would have been good. But like I said, fresh account, I want to build up that, I want to get over that drawdown threshold. So that's why I ended up long in here and ended up getting out there, because we had those equal highs and then a London session high, and then we had a fair value gap right above that. Also, if I go to the 4-hour, I noticed that there was a 4-hour bearish fair value gap, and we're right in the middle of it. So I just ended up taking it all off. Also, just want to mention this as well. We have a bearish unicorn on the daily time frame. So this might take a little bit longer to play out, but that is another reason why I ended up getting out right there on this fresh account. So on my other account, I have plenty of drawdown to work with. So that's why I ended up, I trimmed here as well, but I ended up leaving a runner. And I also ended up getting into another position on my other account here, right around here on the lower time frames, to target that previous day high. But the reason why I did that on the other account is because I have drawdown to work with. So with this account, it's a fresh account. I want to build it up slowly and just show you guys how patience and discipline can take you really far and can help you pass these accounts, and you can stack accounts and stack payouts, etc. So again, the way I'm going to be doing this, guys, is just every single time I take a unicorn setup or a trade, I'm going to be documenting every single trade, win or lose, on this video right here. So it's going to be a series of different trades throughout this whole video, and then I'll show you guys at the very end of this video, hopefully, me getting a payout from just taking unicorn setups. Okay, I don't know how long this is going to take me, but hopefully, it's a little quick so I can get this series out to you guys. So hope you guys enjoyed this trade recap, trade breakdown for this fresh 150K account. This is the standing balance of what it's at right now. So we will see where we end up on the next unicorn trade that pops up. It might be next week. It might be later this week. Who knows? So next time I take a unicorn setup, I'll record another video and add it onto this clip. So catch you guys in the next trade. All right, guys. So I have to update you on another trade that I took here on this fresh 150K Top Step Combine. So obviously, I showed you guys the trade and I recapped that trade that I took earlier today on that 15-minute unicorn. Now, there was a 5-minute unicorn here that I wanted to take, and I ended up taking here. So I ended up trying to short this unicorn at 16,830, which was right around here in this 5-minute fair value gap. So I thought we were going to push up and use this 5-minute fair value gap to come down. And I actually had my stop loss at, 16,851.50. So literally above this candle's high right there. They ended up stopping me out, and then this went my direction. So I was just aiming to take out this external low right here. So the position pretty much looked like this. In a sense, I was pretty much aiming for a 1-to-1 or sort of like a 1.62 RR is what I was aiming for. Again, it's a little bit unfortunate that they ended up stopping me right there. There was internal buy side here on the lower time frames on the 1 minute, but again, I don't really watch the 1 minute. I just set my stop up there. Was looking to take a short to target this external low that was formed here in the PM session. So that was pretty much the trade I ended up taking, the second trade for today on this account. It did end up working, but again, they stopped me out up here. I should have had a looser stop, but that would have resulted in a negative RR. And yeah, I mean, it's totally fine as well. Like I've told you guys before, negative RRs are perfectly fine if you have a lot of conviction and if you know the draw on liquidity is going to be lower. I had a very high conviction with this trade because I knew we were going to push down. Another reason why I ended up taking this trade here was because if we go to ES really quick, you guys will see that we had a reaction to the 15-minute CE of this wick, which is a halfway point of this wick right here that caused the liquidity sweep at the previous day high. And then we left relative equal lows right there. So if we go to the 5-minute, you guys see all these equal lows left. So that was another reason for me taking that unicorn setup there on NQ. This was right around the time when ES started pushing up to its 15-minute wick on that CE of that wick. That's when it started pushing up, and that's when it stopped me out. And then obviously we came down, swept all those relative equal lows, and that would have been a win, but again, had my stop a little too tight. Should have moved it up to the swing high after this breaker structure and the breaker formed and the unicorn formed. Should have had it up there, but it is totally fine. We are still up $537 for today. Only took 2 trades here. 1 win, 1 loss. We came out green for the day. So that's all that matters. So again, I will update you guys on the next trade that I take on this account. So see you guys in the next trading recap. All right, guys, welcome to the next trading recap for this fresh 150K account. Now, as you guys can see here, I am up $1,000 on the day for this account. And on the last trading day, which was yesterday in the last clip, whenever you guys see this video, you guys seen that I was up around $500 after that 1 W and that 1 L that we took yesterday. So I ended up taking a trade here, as you guys can see on my screen on the right on NQ. You guys see the executions. This was obviously a 15-minute unicorn, but I'm going to be breaking down this trade more in depth. So let's get right into it. And I did end up making about, let's see, let me move my camera so you guys can see that, about $1,051. So that was the amount that I made today. And we have the account sitting at 151. 5, 8, 9, and 10 cents. So let me go ahead and minimize this and let's get down into the trade recap and why I ended up taking this trade and my thought process on it. Again, guys, this video is just going to be me breaking down every single unicorn trade that I take until I get the funded account and get a payout just using straight unicorn trades, and showing and proving to you guys that all you need is one model, whether it be this model or another model. But I really recommend this one because it's super mechanical, super simple to spot, and yeah, you guys are going to get paid out using this model in 2024. So getting right into the day, if you look here on the left on ES, we had equal highs, like perfect equal highs. And then we had an SMT between the previous day high with NQ. So this high right here, when I hover over it, you can see my cursor right over here on ES as well. So we had an SMT divergence going on to the day, and prices started drawing down to the London low, which ended up making relative equal lows. Now, these horizontal lines is the quarterly theory. So when I woke up, I started breaking down, the 90-minute cycles for New York. If you guys don't know the quarterly theory, go watch the one I uploaded in the series. I think it's going to be the video before this one, but I started breaking down the 90-minute cycle. So this quarter one right here, in my opinion, was the X. So if that is X, it's going to be the XAMD model, right? Continuation reversal of the previous 90-minute cycle, which in my opinion, this was continuation, because as you could see here in the last 90-minute cycle, it was just down and then we continued lower. And this was the accumulation of shorts. And then obviously quarter three, XAMD, the M stands for manipulation. And we obviously manipulated, right? We have an SMT between these two lows right here at London low, right? You see this low over here and you see this low over here. ES refused to swipe it. NQ ended up swiping it. Obviously we have an SMT as well right here between these two lows. I didn't even notice that, but I was looking at the SMT right here at the London low. So why was this SMT a high probable SMT? Now, if we go to the 1 hour real quick, let me go ahead and remove all these drawings. If you were to anchor a Fibonacci from this candle's body's low right here to the bottom of this wick, so basically just the bottom of this wick, you would get the halfway point of this wick. So that is a PD array in itself, a higher time frame PD array, which makes this SMT high probable. Remember what I said in the SMT video. SMTs are very high probable when they are in a higher time frame PD array. In this case, the higher time frame PD array was the CE, or the 50% of this 1 hour wick right here. So I seen that, and then we started pushing up, and as you guys could see in the quarterly theory, this was the manipulation, and we started pushing up into internal buy side. I seen that speed and displacement, and then this next 15-minute candle closed up here, and we obviously formed a gap. Now, I did not set a limit entry right here, just because of the simple fact I wanted to see the reaction off this 15-minute candle. And obviously we closed right below the halfway point. We closed the body below it. We tapped into the 50% of that 15-minute bullish breaker right here. And now if I'm following the quarterly theory XAMD model, quarter four should be distribution for the upside. Since now we're breaking structure, we've swept sell side, relative equal lows, and we have a high probable SMT on our side. You see how I'm blending everything together to form a trade idea. And then as we are approaching, or as we are taking out internal buy side, we see ES potentially reaching up to its morning high. So I see that there. I see the displacement down on this 15-minute candle as well as ES. It goes into the 5-minute fair value gap. And as you notice here at the 50% of this 5-minute fair value gap on ES, the bodies of the candles are not closing below it. So wicks do the damage, bodies tell the story. So I see that there. So I'm confident that, you know, Q4 for the quarterly theory is going to be distribution to the upside. So as soon as I see this candle close below, again, below the 50% of this 15-minute fair value gap, I see this next 15-minute candle close above. So we completely reverse it and we close a body right above this 15-minute bullish candle. We don't close bodies below it, but we reverse it with this candle right here. So as soon as I seen that, this 15-minute candle opened here, and then I went ahead and market entry at 18.76, which was literally like the top of this 15-minute fair value gap. So honestly, it would have been the same if I would have set a limit right at the top of this fair value gap. Instead, I waited for extra confirmations and even a plus with this 50% 15-minute breaker block. We were not closing bodies below the 50%, which is a very, very good sign. We reversed, we closed a bullish body above this 15-minute fair value gap, and we're not getting bodies closing below it. So we close above it. I wait for this next candle to open, and then I market entry right here. I place my stop below this candle's low right here. Let me go ahead and delete the line so it's not super confusing. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. So I place my stop below this candle's low, and then I place my TP up here. Now, I did get out premature. I did not wait for the swipe of this high right here of the morning high, simply because of the fact that ES took that high before NQ did. So I just took the low hanging fruit objective, and I ended up getting out at 902.50. So that was like right there. So ended up getting out right there for about $1,050, which was the PNL for the day. And I'm going to be done trading for the day on this account. I'm going to be leaving it at 151.589. I'm not going to take any more trades for the day. So that is pretty much the reason why I ended up taking this trade. 15-minute bullish unicorn, 15-minute breaker, ended up market buying up here once I seen this reversal with this 15-minute bullish candle, closes a body above it. So that is a very good sign. It's reacting off the 50% of this 15-minute bullish breaker. Market entry once this next candle opens, and then I place my stop below this low over here that caused the fair value gap, right? So, and then I just target the external buy side liquidity, right? So we have all of our confluences coming together to increase conviction in this trade. So that is the reason why I ended up taking this trade. So I will catch you guys in the next trade that I take, in the next unicorn trade that I take on this account. So hope you guys are enjoying this video so far, and I will catch you guys in the next trade recap. All right, guys, welcome to another trade recap in this 150K top step combine that we are going to be passing only using unicorn models. Now, I'm going to be showing you the two trades that I took today on this account. Now, one was a slight L because I'll explain it here in a little bit, but one was a slight loss and the other one was a pretty big W. So let me go ahead and move my webcam here. So as you guys can see on the bottom left, I made about $987 on this account today. Would have been a little more if I had taken the win up here, but I'll go ahead and explain what my thought process was and why I ended up taking a long instead of a short here in this 15-minute unicorn. Now let's go ahead and get right into it. Now today was CPI day. And like I told you guys in that news video, how to navigate high impact news, I really don't like having trades put on before the news event because, again, it's very volatile. And as you guys could see here, we had our daily buy side level up here. We were very close to these equal highs on ES, super close. And I know a lot of people thought we were just going to pump up to that. Again, you don't know what's going to happen at these news reports. We dumped down, we swept sell side, and then we retraced into this 15-minute unicorn. Now, I know this breaker block indicator, I turned it on so that you guys could see this extra breaker block over here. This is not the breaker block that I was focusing on, but it is kind of neat to see that, you know, ES was just tapping into that breaker block all the way over here. So whenever you have breaker blocks, you can definitely extend it out to the right as much as you want. Especially if they haven't been tapped into like this one, right? We tapped into it once and then the news release twice and then 3 times up here. And then notice how the bodies of the candles did not close above the fair value gap And then this is the primary breaker block that I was focusing on. So let me go ahead and turn that indicator off. But this was the breaker block I was pretty much focusing on right here, okay? You could even say that this was a breaker block. But this was pretty much the breaker block that I was focusing on right here on the 15-minute on ES. There was also one on NQ. So NQ and ES both had 15-minute unicorns on their charts. So if we start zooming into the lower time frames here, you start seeing that I went long right around here, and I'll show you guys why. So we had an SMT between NQ and ES. So if I go ahead and split my chart here, you guys will see, let me go ahead and turn off the breaker block indicator. You guys will see that NQ took its London high and ES did not. And this gray shaded box right here is a higher time frame PDA rate in the form of a daily fair value gap. Remember what I said in the SMT video, guys. When you have an SMT in a higher time frame PDA rate, such as like a daily fair value gap or whatever, you're looking at like a 4-hour fair value gap, 1 hour. As long as it's a higher time frame PDA rate versus the chart you're trading on, it is going to be a very high probable SMT. It's going to give you clues on what price may do. Now, again, I don't trade news reports. I don't trade right at the minute once they drop. It was like impossible to catch this. If you were trying to catch this, you would have been slipped. You would have been filled way lower or higher than expected. So again, I don't trade right at news release. Okay. So as you guys can see that's a high probable SMT. Now, as we swept sell side here at this low, which was yesterday's PM session low, we swept sell side here on ES. And then this is where I started to look for, you know, a potential reversal, because a lot of times when we have these high impact news release like NFP, CPI, we've just been swiping sell side or buy side and then like reversing the move, right? But in today's case, we did not do that. So if we go to the 1 minute real quick, you guys will see what I ended up taking here. Okay, so in the 1 minute, we had a breaker block right here, right? Last bullish candle of the swing low before taking that low. You extend that out right there. And I was a little bit late to this 1 minute unicorn here. Again, I don't really like using the 1 minute, but it just depends on the situation. Like today, it was CPI release, so it's going to be very volatile. So I will zoom into the 1 minute sometimes and then look for, you know, potential unicorn setup. So as you guys can see here, there was a unicorn setup here. So if I drag this FVG out, I was a little bit late. I did chase with one contract here, and I was aiming for, you know, the last buy side on the daily chart. That's what I was aiming for, and that's why my bias was kind of skewed here. I wasn't really paying attention to the 5 minute and 15 minute chart. However, people in the Discord were telling me, hey, 15 minute shorts don't look bad. There's a unicorn there. There's a 5 minute unicorn. There was a bunch of bearish unicorns on the 5 minute and 15 minute on NQ and ES, but, you know, I was just sticking to my bullish bias because ES was super close to taking out that daily buy side level at those equal highs that I showed you guys earlier. So I was just sticking to it. So I was in profit up here, and then price started to reverse down, and I didn't like that we displaced below this low. So I ended up closing right here for about, I think, a $300 loss. So I ended up closing for like a $300 L, and I just decided to wait. I was being patient. I was waiting. So if we go to the 15 minute, again, this looks super clear if you look at it from the 15-minute perspective. 15-minute unicorn, beautiful reaction down to this low right there. And then, I was just waiting. I was being patient with my setups and stuff, and that's the name of the game with trading, just being super, super patient. So I ended up waiting, and then ES left those equal lows at 47.86. It did not take that sell side there, and then we had another sell side liquidity level here at 47.83 and 75. So those were my sell side levels that I was looking at for the rest of the day. And I had to wait for the next 30 minutes to wait to see what these next two 15-minute candles did and to see if we formed a fair value gap. So we did form a fair value gap. So then I wanted to short in this 15-minute fair value gap, right? And that's what I alerted to the Discord. So I alerted a short in this 15-minute fair value gap. But if we go to the 1 minute, this is where I based my short off of, right? You guys see this? 15-minute fair value gap, higher time frame PDA rate, and then we have a 1 minute unicorn, right? Drag the breaker block out on the 1 minute, right there, boom. And I ended up going short 2 right here, and then we have that overlapping fair value gap right there. Sorry guys, I'm a little jittery from the latte I had this morning, but as you guys can see there, 1 minute breaker block, 1 minute fair value gap, I ended up shorting there. And then I ended up taking all profits at 47.85. So in between these two sell side levels right here, that's where I had my take profit at. Because again, if you take the equal lows there. This whole range right here is pretty much where stops are going to be resting. So I just put it right in the middle of that. I didn't even like want price to take out 47.83. I didn't care if it took it out or not because I had it in the middle. I already knew that it was going to take it because, again, that's where a ton of stops are at, especially when ES leaves equal lows on the higher time frames. But yeah, that is pretty much it, guys. You guys seen those 2 unicorn setups that I took there. One bullish one, but it ended up failing. And then I recognized that it failed, so I ended up cutting it for a small loss. And then I ended up making around, I think, $1,200 here. But with that $300 loss, we ended up making about, again, $987, almost $1,000. So yeah, that was pretty much a trade recap for today, guys. It was 1L, 1W. But again, managing risk. As you guys can see here, we're steadily climbing. We are at 152.5K now. So we only need, I think, 6,500 left. So, you know, if I would have caught this 15-minute fair value gap, just basing it off the 15-minute, and I would have went 2 cons here, this would have been at like 155K balance. But again, we can't make more than our drawdown threshold, which is 4,500 in a single day, which is totally fine. You don't need to worry about that. But we're stacking wins here and managing risk very, very properly. So I'm excited to pass this account and get a payout and show you guys this is literally the only model you need in 2024. Who else is doing this on YouTube? Who else is passing accounts with one single model, not just taking a bunch of bullshit ass trades and getting a payout with it? Nobody else is doing this, guys, for you guys, for free. Specifically for free. Nobody's fucking doing that. I could charge thousands for this course or mentorship playlist series, whatever you want to call it. But I'm doing it for free to show you guys you don't need shit. So again, guys, beautiful day. We are sitting here. I am done for the day. I'm done trading unless another unicorn sets up. But if it does, I will let you guys know and I will update you guys. So hope you guys are enjoying the series. Again, I will catch you guys in the next trade recap in this video. Peace. All right, guys. Welcome to today's trade recap for this video. As you guys can see here, I did lose about $1,500. If I move my camera, you guys will see the summary for today. It's negative 1560 with 8 cents. Now, I'm going to go and walk you through the trades and why I ended up taking these trades. My chart is a little messy here, but go ahead and try to ignore all this. Let me go ahead and take out the breaker block signal so that way you guys see this. Anyways, ended up losing about $1,500. Initially, it was 2K, but I'll show you guys what I did to actually gain a little bit of money to end the day off here. So, initially, if we go to the 1 hour here on both NQ and ES, you guys will see that we ended up holding this 1 hour bullish fair value gap overnight. And then we had PPI news, which is high impact news. I didn't get into any positions before, but I actually waited. And then this looks super clean. Okay. After this 1 hour candle closed, it looks super clean. We had a bullish breaker here on the 1 hour. So we had a 1 hour bullish breaker overlapping 1 hour fair value gap. And then if we go to the 15-minute, we actually had a 15-minute breaker block here as well with an overlapping 15-minute fair value gap. So this is actually where I ended up taking my first position right here, which was at 48.18 and a quarter. So right around here, ended up taking it at the bottom of that fair value gap, tapping into this one right here. And I was confident that we were going to hold it because, again, we had a 15-minute and a 1 hour unicorn. And we left relative equal highs. And on the daily looked like it wanted to expand higher. But unfortunately, it's just been an inside day, meaning that it's just been consolidating inside the previous day range. So we didn't take the previous day high, nor did we take the previous day low. So it's just been an inside day, right? It's just been all internal models. Anyways, I ended up adding a little more once we came down to a deep discount into this 15-minute fair value gap right there. So if I turn on the drawings here, we go ahead and delete that 1 hour again. So if you notice on the 15-minute fair value gap, we were not closing bodies below the 50% of this fair value gap. Again, remember, wicks do the damage, bodies tell the story. But I did end up getting stopped out on this candle's dump right here because on the 5-minute, we were slowly grinding up, and I ended up moving my stop loss to right here. So I ended up taking the L there. And if we go to the 5-minute here on NQ, I did take a 1 contract long on this 5-minute fair value gap, which was a 5-minute unicorn as well, right? So if we draw the 5-minute fair value gap there, and this was your breaker block right here, the last bullish candle before taking that low out right here. It was perfectly overlapping, set a limit there, placed my stop there, and as you guys could see on this dump, I got stopped out on both positions right here, which had me at a loss of $2,000. So Was a little too much, but I had high conviction. It was super clean. It's a Friday. I really don't like to trade Fridays, but again, this looks super clean. Had a lot of conviction. Ended up trading my plan, which is perfectly fine if I lose. Super fine, okay? I'm not mad about it. I'm not upset about it, but I ended up taking one more stab long with one contract and aiming for the internal buy side. Again, guys, I told you guys this is an inside day. It's been looking like an inside day so far. So what I was aiming for was just basically these little internal highs on the 1 minute over here. And again, this was a unicorn, technically. This is a 1 hour unicorn, and that's why I ended up taking one more stab long here, as I noticed that we were not closing bodies below that 1 hour fair value gap. So if I extend this out like this and draw the 1 hour fair value gap, you guys see that we were not closing bodies below it. And then if I bring it back to the 15 minute, we were not closing bodies below the 50% level within this 1 hour breaker. Okay, so this is a 1 hour unicorn, and that's why I ended up taking another stab long to target internal buy side on the very small time frames. So yeah, this little trade right here netted me about like $500, which put the account at 151 and made me lose about 1560. So perfectly fine, guys. I'm not super mad about it. It is a frustrating day though, because we left all those highs up here and we had 1 hour unicorn, 15-minute unicorn, and technically it hasn't failed yet, but I mean, frustrating day. Like I said, I really don't like trading Fridays, but it just looks super clean. I had a lot of conviction. I was pretty confident that we were going to go up to that external buy side up there, but we didn't. Okay, it's just been an inside day. It's just been choppy, rangy, and it's not really doing anything. Again, if you look at the daily candle, we've just been inside the previous day range. I'm thinking that they save this for next week, which I think that by the end of today, we'll get more answers. If I take off the executions, because I know that's a little annoying, but I think that we may even dump down to that daily fair value gap down here and take out that last sell side and relative equal lows. And then we can start working our way up to that buy side, because that was basically the whole idea today, since they held that bullish 1 hour fair value gap overnight and we refused to close a body below it. And then we pushed up, made new highs, break of structure, unicorn. That was my whole conviction today. And then we had that external buy side that ES looked like he wanted to take. So that was pretty much the conviction and bias that I had going into the day. But obviously Friday, I call it fuckery Friday, because they just fuck around a lot. And that's why I don't like trading Fridays nor Mondays. But it is a bank holiday this upcoming Monday. So it's going to be a short week next week. So we have to be on our toes next week. Okay. So that could be a reason why it's been an inside day. They might want to save the liquidity for next week, which obviously we're nearing the end of the day, and that's what it kind of looks like. But who knows? They could obviously pump this in the last hour of the market. I've seen some crazy stuff on Fridays, but yeah, that was pretty much the trade recaps on the trades that I took. Ended up taking about in total 3 trades today. I'm pretty much done for the day, guys. I'm not going to be trading anymore on this account until next week. So hope you guys are enjoying the series. Hope you guys are enjoying this episode so far. Catch you guys in the next recap. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So if you notice on the bottom right corner, we are up a pretty good amount. I'm not going to lie. Today was a very good day, and you guys will see the executions here on NQ, which was the bread and butter for today. As you guys see here on the 15-minute, there's a 15-minute beautiful unicorn with an SMT divergence there. Now I'm going to go over the trades that I ended up taking, because you guys see multiple executions here on ES and NQ. Now I'll explain my reasoning behind all of these trades here in a little bit. But yeah, we are up at 153.846. Again, just taking pure unicorn setups. And we are up, let's see, account summary. We ended up banking $2,800 today. So super good day. We made back our loss from Friday, I believe. We lost like $1,500 on Friday. Fuckery Friday. I don't really like trading Fridays, but you guys seen what happened on Friday. It was just fucking around too much. Ended up losing because I had a very high conviction in that trade on Friday. But again, shit happens. It's totally fine. We made our losses back plus some today. So we are almost halfway done with this challenge account. Just taking unicorn setups, just being patient, executing, right, with conviction. Now, let me go ahead and explain this ES trade, because this was the only trade I ended up taking here on ES, and actually alerted this in the Discord, in my Discord channel here. The main reason was because we had perfect equal highs right here. We had relative equal highs actually. So 15-minute, I'm on the 15-minute. Okay, so 15-minute, we had a 15-minute bullish breaker block right here. We extend that out. We were obviously holding this 15-minute unicorn, 15-minute fair value gap. We were refusing to close below. So I ended up taking a stab here. If we go to the 5-minute, ended up taking a stab here right when we swept this low right here. So I ended up kind of, in a sense, turtle souping. I know people don't know that term or don't know that concept or model. Don't worry, it's just pretty much buying sell stops or buy stops. So I ended up buying right here, and even on the 15-minute, we were still in this 15-minute unicorn. It was still valid. We were refusing to close a body below the 50% of that fair value gap, so I ended up buying there after sweeping this low here. Now if you notice these vertical lines here, these are lines that represent the 90-minute cycles in the quarterly theory. So this was a X meaning reversal or continuation of the previous 90-minute cycle, which this actually continued. And then A, accumulation of longs, in my opinion. And then quarter 3 would be manipulation. Now, if you don't think this is manipulation, I don't know what to tell you. This is a very manipulative move. Like we came up, swept highs, and then we reversed the whole moves to sweep this low over here. So very manipulative. This was manipulation, and then quarter 4 we are starting distribution. So anyways, I ended up taking a long here, which was about 3, and then I ended up selling a little above. So I ended up making I think like 50 to 100 bucks on this. It broke even. I was actually up like $1,400 on this trade right here, but I was aiming for this high, right? And it ended up leaving perfect equal highs. It didn't sweep it or anything. So this was the manipulation phase in the quarterly theory. We ended up closing below that 15-minute fair value gap and swiping that low, causing a SMT divergence to form. Now, if we go to the NQ chart, you guys notice here, we have relative equal highs over here in buy side. This was Monday's highs. We just swept all of Monday's highs right here, as you guys see. Now, if I go to the 5-minute really quick, actually, I want to stay on the 15-minute real fast. So we did have an SMT down here in London session. As you guys can see there, I have that marked, but we had a bigger SMT right there. Okay, so I'll just leave this marked right here. But if we stay on the 15-minute, you guys see I actually marked the 2 candles that were grouped together as a full breaker block. If you go to the 30-minute, that's a 1 30-minute candle. So I don't really use the 30-minute too much, but I ended up just grouping these 2 candles together to, show me the breaker block. You could just use one, but I grouped up both of them together. So as you guys notice, I dragged it out. And if we go to the 5-minute real quick so I can show you there, 15-minute fair value gap refuses to close below the 50%, a body below the 50%, that is. If I go to the 5-minute, we're obviously dumping pretty hard now, but if I go to the 5-minute here, I tried a unicorn setup right here, and I ended up losing about $200 on this trade because I closed a little below my entry here. I ended up kind of chasing this long just because I seen this 15-minute a little too late in pre-market, which was an hour before market, so this was when news dropped because we did have I think it was like the Empire State Manufacturing Index or something like that. So I ended up long in there, and then I ended up closing a little bit below my entry because I just wanted to wait for pre-market. I noticed that we were entering the manipulation phase here, so I wanted to see what was going to happen between market open and in this 90-minute cycle. This is crazy. We are absolutely dumping right now. So I'm just looking at that like, wow. Okay, so I noticed this SMT here, right? And we caught this live in the Discord group. But anyways, I noticed this huge SMT here, right? ES takes out that low, and Q is refusing to close below this 15-minute fair value gap. We're still chilling in this 15-minute bullish breaker. So you know what? I ended up taking a long here at 16,905, which was a little up here. I was chasing, but I noticed this displacement with the 5-minute candle right here. We closed above this bearish fair value gap that caused the sweep on these equal lows down here. We closed above it, nice displacement. Next 5-minute candle formed a 5-minute fair value gap, which was nice. It was beautiful. So I ended up market buying right there. Again, we were in this 15-minute bullish unicorn, okay? 5-minute was showing signs that we were going to reverse, and then we also had all this buy side up here. So I ended up marking buying right there, and then I ended up closing after we swept these relative equal highs. I didn't want to wait for that, but that was pretty much the trade setup. We were refusing to close below this 15-minute bullish fair value gap and breaker. No bodies of the candles were closing below this, so I ended up trying a long here in this unicorn to target the internal liquidity there, and it obviously hit this internal liquidity, but we have this external up here that I still think is the target for later today. But I am done trading on this account. Again, we're only taking unicorn setups on this account, guys. Nothing else, okay? Literally nothing else. Literally just every single trade has been a unicorn setup so far, okay? So this 90-minute cycle here just gave me even more conviction and confidence in entering this trade because, again, we had an SMT. We're in the manipulation phase. ES left perfect equal highs, so there was no way that we were going to leave this. Plus all these perfect equal highs here on Monday, which was a bank holiday, no way we were going to leave that. So as you guys could see, price retraced up there, took those equal highs, and then took these equal highs. Again, guys, remember, drawing liquidity, these equal highs, equal lows, equal whatever, relative equal highs, relative equal lows, these are like magnets. Price will draw up to them, okay? So that's why I ended up taking a long here. This is my last trade of the day on this account up to here, and obviously it worked out on that 15-minute bullish unicorn on NQ. So that's what we did to bank $2,800 for today and bring the account balance up to 153,846 and 40 cents. So I will catch you guys in the next trade recap that I take on this account, and hopefully in the next maybe 2-3 more trades I end up passing this account, and that way we could start working on a payout. I'm sorry if this video is a little bit too long. I hope you guys are enjoying these little trade recaps for this account. I'm showing you guys, I'm breaking it down for you guys. This is literally all you need. It's just unicorn setups. Anytime there's a unicorn setup on the 5-minute or 15-minute, I end up taking. Now you guys have noticed that I have only took like 1 or 2 unicorn setups on the 1 minute. I really don't use the 1 minute as much as I do the 5-minute, 15-minute, and even the 1 hour, okay? I stay on the 5-minute, 15-minute, 1 hour usually when I take my unicorn setups. There's no reason for it. It's just personally what I like and personally what I've seen the most success with. So hope you guys are enjoying this. I'll catch you guys in the next trade recap for this account. Peace. All right. Welcome back to the next trade recap in this 150K Top Step Combine account. As you guys can see, we are at 154,935. Now, if you guys notice, you guys are not able to see my executions on the chart. That is because I am recording this video a little too late. And if you guys don't know, with Top Step, they reset the drawdown and all that at 6 p.m. EST or 5 p.m. Central Standard Time is the time I'm at. Now, after I was done trading, I did end up trading very late in the afternoon, like the last 30 minutes of the session today. After I was done trading, I had to rush to go get a haircut. Now you see I'm all cleaned up, but I went to go get a haircut, and then I had my car at the mechanic shop, so I had to go pick that up. And I had a feeling that I was going to make it home at 5 or right around 5. So that means that the executions were going to show. So I had a feeling that was going to happen. So what I did was I ended up taking screenshots of the executions here. And this was the P&L for the account. As you guys can see, I made $1,089. If you guys go back, rewind the video a little bit, you guys will see it adds up with the balance that it was yesterday. And I'm going to go through the losing trade that I had today with ES, but this was the P&L as the day ended. And then this is my executions for NASDAQ. I'll go over all these. And then this was the losing trade that I ended up taking earlier in the morning, which netted me, which was a net loss of very close to $600. So if I didn't take this L right here, it would have been a $1,600 day. But nonetheless, we are up for the day, up for the week, and up for this account. All we need is 4K to pass. So hopefully we could pass it by the end of this week. So let's go ahead and go into ES real quick. Let me go over this ES trade real quick. Let me go ahead and bring this down. So let's go to the ES executions first. So let's review this, right? I ended up buying in this 5-minute unicorn, and I ended up getting stopped out down here. Now, I did alert this in the Discord, so let me go ahead and show you guys this. I set limits in this 5-minute unicorn. As you guys can see, this is a 5 contract limit. I did not take 5 contracts on the challenge account that I'm trying to pass for you guys. This is actually on one of my main funded accounts. So I ended up taking this on my main funded account, but I also ended up taking this on the challenge account because, again, it's a unicorn setup, 5-minute unicorn, 5-minute bullish breaker block with a 5-minute fair value gap. I was targeting the high up here. Now, the reasoning for this trade, again, I ended up being stopped, but the reasoning for this trade, let me switch this back over to the chart. Okay, now the reason for this trade was because if you notice here on this daily fair value gap, which is this shaded box right here, the bodies of the candles were respecting the bottom of that daily fair value gap. So we started pushing up. We had a nice displacement above these relative equal highs. We closed above it. Next candle closed. We had a 5-minute fair value gap. So I ended up setting a limit there for the group. And I ended up taking it on my main account and the challenge account, which is this one right here, okay? So this trade, I ended up taking, I think, 2 contracts. So when it came down here, it stopped me out at about like a $590 loss, if I remember correctly. It was like a $600 L. Anyways, I was hoping for this daily fair value gap to hold, and it did on the daily chart. Remember, wicks do the damage, bodies tell the story. We came down lower into this 1 hour fair value gap, but that was pretty much the first trade that I took on the day on this account, and really all my accounts was this 5-minute ES unicorn. Now, I'm going to go ahead and review the executions on the NASDAQ real quick, okay? So if you guys notice, I have a buy and then a sell, and then 2 buys, and then I get out all right there. Now, ES, again, super simple trade. This was 2 contracts here, and on NQ, I ended up trading, I think, 2 contracts here and then 1 contract right here. So let's go ahead and go to the NQ chart really quick. Let me go ahead and switch this out to the NQ chart. I'm sorry about that, guys. I really did want to record this with the execution, so I could have showed you guys, but I was in a rush, had to go get a haircut, had to go pick up my car, and I got back super, super late, so it's not showing the executions, because you guys know if you guys use Top Step or even My Funded Futures or any really futures firms, they reset the thing, so you can't see all of your executions after the cutoff time or after the reset time. So anyways, executions on the NASDAQ. So obviously here we had a 15-minute beautiful unicorn in the morning, which attacked this sell side here. I unfortunately did not get into this, but I was bullish going into the day. Now, reason why I was bullish going into the day is because we had an opening range gap, meaning you guys don't see this. If you guys are trading the futures chart, you guys can't see this. But if you go down to your bottom right corner, there is a button down here. Oh, you guys can't see that, but there's a button down here that says RTH, that's regular trading hours. If you click on that, you guys will be able to see that gap. So anytime there's a gap like that, they usually always get filled. Not all the time, but that's, you know, another concept, another strategy for another video. But anyways, this was just one of my confluences for me being bullish going into the day. Now I'll go back to electronic trading hours, which is what everybody sees if you're trading futures. Anyways, we came down, and then I know people wanted to see us tap into this daily fair value gap. So if I go to the daily chart here, there is a daily fair value gap on NASDAQ. Some people wanted to see it tap into that. I personally did not. All I wanted to see was ES tap into its daily fair value gap. If you guys are in my free Telegram and in the private Discord, you guys seen the weekly outlook that I outlined for this week. I told you guys that I wanted to see the tap into ES and its daily fair value gap, but not NQ, because that created a SMT. And remember, SMTs are high probable in what? Higher time frame PDA raise. So we had a very big SMT there. And then if we go to the 5-minute, obviously, we pushed up after we had that violent drop in the morning. There was really nothing here except for a 1-minute unicorn, which I did end up taking on one of my funded accounts. I did not end up taking it on the challenge account because I don't like 1-minute unicorns as much. But if you group up these 2 little candles right here, you drag that out, you have a fair value gap right there, you drag that out. This was your entry right here in this unicorn, and you could have held it all the way up to here. But unfortunately, price fell very, very short, and you could have took a low hanging fruit objective here and took it all off there. But I ended up getting long right here on one of my main funded accounts, and I got out, I think I got out somewhere up here. I don't remember, but this was a valid 1-minute unicorn. Again, I don't really like taking 1-minute unicorns, but it was there nonetheless. But I'm here to show you the trades I took on the challenge account. Anyway, so we fell short, and then we ended up having relative equal highs right there. We came down into this 5-minute fair value gap. And again, if you guys are trying to trade the PM session, I always recommend waiting until 1:30. So if you're waiting, just wait till 1:30, guys. Okay, this is the start. This is the end of lunch. And as you guys can see, for the next about 30-ish minutes, we just kind of come down and push down, right, and manipulate price to the downside. Now, let me go ahead and turn off this indicator here so it's not too much stuff on my chart. So if I split the screen really quick and bring up ES over here, you guys will see that there is another SMT divergence down here. So I noticed this, right? Going into PM session, I noticed that there is a SMT between these 2 lows. And again, high probable SMTs occur in what? Higher time frame PD arrays. So price on ES taps into a 1 hour fair value gap. If I go to the 1 hour, you guys will see this 1 hour imbalance right there. Taps into it. There's an SMT there between ES and NQ, as well as YM, which is the Dow Jones. If I go to YM, you guys will see there that we also made a low. So we have SMT, NQs refusing to make lows. Again, guys, remember, indices have to be in correlation with each other. If they're not, this is indicating that, you know, smart money is probably going to reverse. So I see this SMT going on, and then I go to the 1 minute. Okay, this is where I do end up taking a 1 minute unicorn setup on the challenge account, but I did get spooked. I did get out of it. It was like a $50 win. It wasn't anything crazy, but there was a breaker right here. You drag this out, unicorn setup right here, 1 minute fair value gap. You place your stop right there, which is where I got into. But price was kind of just retracing back lower. It wasn't really doing anything. And I got spooked because on the 15 minute, if we go to the 15 minute here, there was a 15 minute fair value gap here that price was reacting to, and it was holding, right? So I was like, okay, I'm just going to get out of it at pretty much break even. I think it was like a $20 or $50 win. I don't remember. But if we go to the executions, you guys will see that there. So this execution, this is where I bought on the 1 minute, and this is where I sold before the rip up, which is unfortunate. I probably could have passed the account with just this trade right here, but I did end up chasing a little bit. Okay, I did end up chasing. I bought two. I ended up buying one more time right there after I seen the displacement on the 5 minute chart right here. Ended up buying right here on this candle, and then I ended up buying another one right here at this candle. Reason being is because this is a more advanced skill. It's an anticipatory skill. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. It just means that I'm anticipating a breaker block on the 5 minute and 15 minute after seeing these displacements, and after seeing that 15 minute get ran through like this. I'm anticipating a breaker block on the 5 minute and on the 15 minute. Okay, we close above this 15 minute bearish fair value gap, and now, you know, we're displacing through, we're pushing up. So that's pretty much where I ended up getting into, is because I kind of chased. And another reason why I ended up chasing is because this reaction, right? This is where price started launching from. It launched from this 1 minute unicorn right here. If you guys notice, we had one pullback there, and it never really came down below that low. So off this initial reaction, just when I seen that we didn't have a negative reaction or a bearish reaction after sweeping these relative equal highs, and we just started displacing through it, I already knew that price was going to go up to these relative equal highs on NQ. That's the reason why I ended up chasing. And guys, chasing is not bad if you know where the drawn liquidity is. And in this example here, in this case, in this trade that I ended up taking on the challenge account, I was confident in the drawn liquidity. It was up here at the morning highs, right? That's where I knew where price was going to draw, right? That is the drawn liquidity, because price fell very, very short from these equal highs, from the morning high, from the 930 high. It fell very, very short. We were like 2 points off from taking it. So it revisited that high back in the PM session. If you guys notice, we ended up taking this high right here, this internal one, not the morning highs. We left it and we pulled back, and then we ripped. Now, if I go to the 5 minute real quick, let me go ahead and delete all this. That was pretty much the trade that I ended up taking, the last trade right here. Boom, boom. If we go to the 5 minute, I was anticipating, again, a breaker block. If you guys notice, these candles are all, you can group them up together to form one big breaker block. But if we go to the 15 minute, this is where I was putting my attention to right here, right? There is a 15 minute bullish breaker block with what, guys? A 15 minute fair value gap. Two of them, that is, right? The first one did get ran through, but if we drag out the second one, it tapped it perfect. The body closed right at the top of it. The second one swept the low. And this is pretty much where my average entry was. If we go to my Twitter, I could show you guys here. Go to my Twitter. That's pretty much where my average entry was. Now, again, this is on one of my other funded accounts. I only ended up taking 2 contracts on this trade on this challenge account, which netted me $1,000. If I didn't take the trade on ES, it would have been like $1,600. But nonetheless, it was still a very, very solid trade. 15 minute unicorn. There was also a 5 minute breaker block right there, but you can also group up these candles to form one big breaker block. So everything was just in alignment here. We had these equal highs, which was internal buy side. So that's pretty much what I was targeting there, okay, in these executions right here. Ended up taking all right here after it swept all those highs right there. And that was pretty much the trade. So we are sitting at a comfortable 154.9K, only taking unicorn setups. Again, I did chase a little bit, but I explained my reason why I ended up chasing. Again, the reaction from the 1 minute unicorn. I was anticipating a breaker block because the drawn liquidity was higher. So if we broke structure, that was going to form a breaker block. All I needed, one more confirmation, was to form a fair value gap. And I was confident, had a lot of conviction in, because the drawn liquidity is higher. It's very important that you know the drawn liquidity. If you have made it this far in the series, you guys should know, drawn liquidity. You guys should know how to figure that out. So that was pretty much the trade recap for today. I will catch you guys in the next one. Hopefully I pass the account in the next 1 or 2 or 3 trades. I don't want to rush it, but when I pass the account, now we work on a payout. So hopefully this video isn't too long, man, but hope you guys are enjoying the series. Hope you guys are enjoying this video. I will catch you guys in the next trade recap. And again, I apologize for the missing the executions and recording this video late, but again, hope you guys are learning. Catch you guys in the next trade recap. All right, welcome back everybody to the next trade recap. Now, today was a little bit tricky. I ended up losing about $1,500 at the start of the day, or the morning session of today, but my plan was clear. Okay, so coming into the morning, I seen this unicorn. Overnight, we respected this 1 hour fair value gap there. We had a nice push up on NASDAQ. The push up was actually a lot higher from this 1 hour fair value gap. We actually pushed up into this daily, and now we're targeting the external sell side right there. But if we go back to ES was my main focus because of the simple fact that we've just been taking all these lows, continuously just sweeping lows and leaving all this liquidity all the way up here. Plus, daily time frame, the draw is higher. We have relative equal highs. We've tapped into this daily fair value gap, which was in discount of this daily dealing range right here. So if we go back to the 1 hour, when I woke up, I seen that we had a 1 hour breaker. Again, you guys can group up these 2 candles if there is 2 candles grouped up together like this, or you could use a single individual candle. So I seen that we had a unicorn here on the 1 hour, and that's what I based my trade on, right? I ended up entering here in the 1 hour fair value gap at 47.87 and a quarter. So literally up here at the start of this fair value gap. And I was targeting this buy side up here. Now, obviously there is buy side right here, which I did end up taking a trade later in the PM session, but I ended up getting stopped here at 47.72. So I ended up losing about $1,500 there. And, I pretty much got back in. I'll show you guys where I got back in, but that was pretty much the trade and why I ended up taking the trade right there on the 1 hour chart. I was literally just focusing on the 1 hour chart here. I also alerted this trade in the Discord. I also have a free Telegram where I break down trades, give weekly outlooks, etc. But anyways, that is the main reason why I ended up entering this trade right here. I also alerted it again, but I ended up getting stopped out on this account. I do have another account, which is one of my main accounts, that I didn't have a stop loss on because of the simple fact that, I had a feeling that we were going to do something like this. Anyways, go to the 4 hour chart real quick. You guys see this 4 hour fair value gap here as well. That's why I have that mark there. Now, if I go to the 15-minute here, we lollygag literally all morning while NASDAQ is pushing, continuously making highs. ES fails and refuses to make highs. So we literally just consolidate all morning, all throughout lunch, and right when the PM session starts is when we start blasting off, okay? So, when you have overnight moves, you usually get a consolidation period in the morning, and PM session is usually the move. So I should have waited for the PM session because I could have avoided a $1,500 loss, and I probably could have almost passed the account today. But it's all good. We are up about, we are up about $541 for the day. So we're up about $541 for the day. Again, I probably could have passed the account if I just avoided the morning session and went into the PM session and just focus on the PM session, since we had a huge overnight move. Should have just focused on the PM session, but it's totally fine, guys. We are sitting at 155.477. So I have pretty much $3,500 to make to pass this account. So hopefully we could do it tomorrow, because I think tomorrow we are going to rip up just based on the 1 hour chart. I think we're going to go for all this external liquidity up here on ES, and I think we're going to actually hit this buy side level here in a little bit before market close. But yeah, we're sitting pretty good. Again, I could have avoided a $1,500 L right there if I didn't even have a stop. But again, I got to have stops on this account. It's all about risk management on this account. When you're a little more advanced, you guys could use mental stops if you'd like. But again, I'm trying to follow literally all the teachings and concepts and stuff that I say on this in this series for you guys, so you guys could see that, you know, literally all you need is this model to pass a funded account and get paid out. So we're doing very, very good on this account. We're at 155. We only need $3,500 to pass and then start to work on a payout. So anyways, that's why I ended up taking the trade in the morning. It looked good on the 1 hour, but again, we lollygagged and came down and hit the stop. So why did I enter here? Why did I enter right here and get out there? Okay, again, like I said, there was a buy side right here in the form of relative equal highs right there, as you guys can see here on the 15 minute. If you go on the 5 minute, there's a bunch of equal highs right there. But again, we had this 1 hour breaker. Okay, we group it up. It was holding strong. And then this 1 hour fair value gap. If you notice here, this first 1 hour fair value gap where I entered first did get ran through. Okay, but if you notice here, let me go ahead and delete this one. If you notice this one right here, this bottom one that's in the middle of the breaker, you guys notice the bodies of the candle there, right? You guys notice how that closure right there, the closure comes in at, look on the top left up here. So the closure of this candle comes in at 47.77 and 3/4, okay? The top of this candle comes in at, wait, let me see. Let me go closure. 47.74. No, wait. The high of this candle. Sorry, guys, I'm tweaking. It's 47.77 and 3/4. So, literally to the tick, the body closes at the bottom of that fair value gap. The next candle opens. Remember, wicks do the damage. Bodies tell the story. We wick down, and we're also in this 4 hour fair value gap. Okay, we're also in this 4 hour fair value gap in a 1 hour breaker. We're also in this 1 hour fair value gap. And now we got to see how this 1 hour closes because it just opened down here. It opened right below the fair value gap. We had a nice wick. We take out sell side right here, which was where my stop was on some other accounts. And this account too. That's why I got stopped out. I had my stop here. Ended up stopping me out right there. But keep in mind, 4 hour fair value gap. That's what I was paying attention to in this 1 hour breaker. We go to the 15 minute. You guys see the bodies of the candle respecting the bottom of that 4 hour fair value gap. And we're getting into the PM session. And the draw is higher on not only ES, but NASDAQ as well. Okay, we left relative equal highs there. We have equal highs there. And I'm looking at that high up there to get taken out. Again, because the draw on liquidity is higher. So I'm looking for higher prices. So as you guys can see here, the bodies of the candle is respecting it. So if we go down to the 5 minute, I ended up getting in at 47.8550. So I ended up chasing a little bit. The reason for that is because I was anticipating a breaker block right here, which, remember guys, speed and displacement is the secret sauce to literally everything if you're trading ICT, right? Even on the 5 minute, the bodies are respecting the bottom of that 4 hour fair value gap, as well as the bottom of that 1 hour breaker if you were to group those two 1 hour candles together. Now, I did get in up here very, very late and I chased a little bit, but for good reason, guys. Speed and displacement is your friend. I'm anticipating a breaker block here. And when you get this speed and displacement, you're most likely not going to get tapped in on one of these fair value gaps down here. Because again, guys, we are displacing very, very quickly. These 3 5-minute candles is literally telling me that we're probably just gonna run, and price is gonna be in a rush to get up to our price targets that we were aiming for in the morning. So I ended up getting in at 3 contracts at 47.8550, which was literally like the top of this candle. I was a little late. I was gonna get in on this candle, but I wanted to see if we were just gonna chill right here and then maybe tap into the fair value gap. But as soon as I seen, again, the speed and displacement, I seen the closure up here, I was like, okay, I'm fine with this coming down. I don't want to see this fair value gap get tapped. I at most want to see this first one get tapped and then we start pushing up. But again, we're pushing up. The bodies of these candles down here on the 4 hour fair value gap, we're respecting it to a T on the 5 minute, 15 minute, and the 1 hour was closing back above that 1 hour fair value gap over here. So I've seen all of that. Speed and displacement. I'm anticipating a bullish unicorn here. I don't really need to wait to get tapped into a fair value gap. So I ended up market entering up here and then going for the draw on liquidity there, which I ended up taking off most there. And then I ended up selling the last one there for a profit of $2,000. So again, I had lost like $1,500 in the morning. I made 2K on this trade right here, which netted me $540 for the day. So we are up on the day. I did chase a little bit, but again, guys, it's super fine as long as you know the draw on liquidity, as long as you see good reactions, and if you can anticipate a breaker, which is sort of a skill that you guys are going to learn with time and experience in the markets. Anticipating breakers and anticipating bullish or bearish unicorns is a skill you guys will develop. So that's exactly why I ended up entering here, made all my losses back, plus a little bit more, and we ended up green on the day. So we only need $3,500 to pass this account. Hopefully we can pass it tomorrow, if not next week. But as you guys can see, we are winning most of our trades. We did lose this trade, but again, you guys, I only took 2 trades here for today. I didn't take anything on NQ. It's just conviction, man. Knowing the draw on liquidity, knowing that speed and displacement is the key to that. Once you see good reactions, you guys, it isn't bad chasing, right? As long as you know the draw on liquidity, as long as you have a lot of conviction in it. As you guys could see, I'm literally doing all the things that I've been talking about in this whole series here for you guys. So I'm proving to you guys that you guys could do this as well. I'm nothing special. You guys could do it as well. But with that being said, guys, I will catch you guys in the next trade recap for this account. Again, we are sitting at 155,477. So hopefully the next trade recap I do in this video, we pass the account. So catch you guys in the next trade recap. Peace out. All right, boys. So if you notice here on the bottom right corner, you guys can see my balance drastically went down. Now, today, I went on a little bit of a tilt, guys. I got a little emotional because of some fucking dumbass shit that happened with Tradeful. So this morning, and I'll put the message somewhere on the screen, but this morning, it was basically giving me an error right around here when this 1 minute unicorn popped up. It was telling me that I don't know, it just couldn't log me in. It couldn't log me in Tradeful. I'll put the message somewhere on the screen so you guys can see. So that made me a little pissed off because it had logged me out for about 45 to 50 minutes. So I logged back in. I was able to log back in right around here when I took this first short. Now, again, this pissed me off because I wanted to take a long up to this buy side here. I had a lot of conviction in going long right here because there was a 1 minute unicorn right here, right? We had a breaker block right here. It swept the low. You drag that out. You have a 1 minute fair value gap. I was trying to enter in this range right here, but I couldn't log into Tradeful. So that fucked me up, okay? And I'm just going to tell you guys, I'm being super transparent here. I got super pissed off, okay? So I ended up losing almost 2,500 today. So I went on a little bit of a tilt because I was a little upset that, you know, Tradeful didn't want to fucking log me in for whatever reason. I don't know what the fuck was going on. I hit up Top Step support as well. They told me there's nothing they can do about it, but whatever. We move on, right? These are just a little bit of a challenge to come back up. I just can't get below 150 anymore or else I blow the account. But we got a 3K buffer or a 3K cushion. So anyways, the reason why I took the short here is because we had a breaker block here on the very, very low time frames. And this is where I fucked up because I don't really trade on the lower time frames. So you guys see how some days it's just going to be like this, guys. Some days it's going to be really hard where you have to keep your emotions in check. And today I didn't. I was mad. I was getting a little bit of a FOMO and I wanted to catch a good move, right? The risk to reward did make sense here because I got into this fair value gap right there. And then I placed my stop up here at this rejection block. But it didn't play out because this wasn't a super valid unicorn. I just got in because the indicator was marking this one as a breaker block and a fair value gap. And I was like, oh, okay. I just logged back into Tradeful. Let's take a short here. Stab short. I ended up losing about, I think like $700. But the risk to reward made sense to me because I wanted to target these lows down here. So it was like a 6 or a 5 RR. I don't really remember. But obviously we just kept fucking ripping up all day. And then over here, I really like this setup over here, and this is the setup I kind of went a little heavier on right here, which caused me to lose about like $2,000, which is crazy because, you know, I should have just kept following the higher time frame bullish order flow. But the reason why I didn't want to is because we've already breached all-time highs. Let me go to the NQH. We've already breached all-time highs over here, right? So all-time high, again, a new all-time high. We breached it. So I was looking for some sort of pullback going in towards the end of day. So I started getting into the 1 minute, which is really something I never really do. I like sticking to the 5 minute and 15 minute, but there was a valid unicorn here. We drag out the 1 minute fair value gap, and then we have our unicorn right here. You can group up these two down close candles here to form an order block. You drag that out. I went short on the order block here with 3. I was in a nice profit right here, but then it came right back up to this fair value gap, and I seen it. It was respecting the fair value gap so far, so then I added another 1 right here. So I was in 4 contracts, placed my stop above the high right there. And obviously, once we started pushing up, actually, I think I did close 432. I closed right before I was going to hit my stop. So I had my stop up here. I noticed that the bodies of the candles were closing above the fair value gap. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take the L. It's all good. I lost 2,500. I went on tilt. My emotions were not in check. I was pissed off this morning because Tradeful didn't want to fucking log me in. So I could have caught that nice ass 1 minute unicorn, and that would have passed my account. Like if I would have caught this unicorn here when I wanted to get in, but I couldn't because I couldn't log into fucking Tradeful because Tradeful is fucking trash. I don't know why it was giving me this error. Again, rewind the video if you want to see what the message said, and I'll link it here in this video somewhere. I'll put it on the screen, but it was stupid. It was like that for like 45 minutes. And I was asking people in the Discord, hey, has this ever happened to you? And they said, yeah, you have to wait like an hour and a half. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, it just pissed me off. And I'm still a little salty about it because I ended up taking shit trades when my bias coming into the morning was bullish because, ES, I've been saying bullish this whole fucking week because ES had these perfect equal highs, relative equal high right there. And then it left the equal high in the morning, and then it tapped that 1 hour fair value gap. So I was just looking for a unicorn entry, and there was really nothing on the 5 minute in terms of unicorn or 15 minute. So I was down to the 1 minute to try and look for it right around in this range, and we did get one. We got one right here, right? It was a perfect unicorn. I could have bottom ticked this, but again, trade of 8. I don't want to put the blame on anybody else, but trade of 8 didn't want to fucking log me in, and I could not place a trade. So when I finally was able to log back into Tradeful, I started taking shit trades, started taking short bias trade. I was super short bias going into the afternoon session because we had swiped buy side at all-time high. Again, my emotions were not in check, and sometimes this happens as traders, even when you are, consistently profitable. Sometimes you will have these days where you just have a ton of emotion. Maybe you're mad, maybe you're sad, maybe you want a revenge trade. And it just fucks you up. It blows your account. And this is a perfect example of what not to do. So that is pretty much the trade recap for today, guys. Those are the 2 trades that I took on this account. I also lost money on my other accounts today, but you know what? It's perfectly fine. I ended up losing. I'll take the L. Let's refresh our mind over the weekend, and let's come back with a positive mindset on Monday and see what we can catch. Hopefully we can pass the account next week. But I don't remember what I started at this week. I might be negative on the week now. But again, we'll just come back with a positive mindset. I can't let this go below 150K. So I have a 3K buffer. So I'm going to lower size now until I get back to where I was initially, which was like 155 or 155.5 or something like that. I'll just wait till I get to that cushion to where I was, and I'll start taking smaller trades. So yeah, that was pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys are enjoying the series and the video. Sometimes, again, you have days like this. I'm sure a lot of you guys have experienced this. But yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next trade recap. Peace. All right, guys. Welcome to the next trading recap for this account. As you guys could see, we are up back to 154.423. So we made today on this account about $1,400. I'm going to show you and walk you through the executions and why I ended up taking. Obviously, it was a unicorn, but let's go ahead. Let me go ahead and move this over here. Okay, so, all right, coming into the day, it's a Monday, right? I don't really like trading Mondays, but let me go ahead and walk you guys through the daily time frame and what I was looking at here. So if we actually, let me go to this is the regular one. Let me actually turn on B80J. Okay, yeah, so when we have this toggled, right, let me go ahead and move my screen right here. there's a thing down here that says B/ADJ, and it adjusts for contract changes. So you end up toggling that on, and you will see that NQ hasn't even taken these highs yet. So that's what I was basing my whole thesis and trade plan around, right? Because the higher time frame draw on liquidity, when you mark that on, is up here. So if we go back to the 15-minute time frame, I started marking my quarterly theory for the daily candles. So the reason why I did that and I didn't do the 90-minute cycles was because it was pre-market, so I didn't have enough data to tell me, you know, if it was going to be AMDX or XAMD. So I started marking it out on the daily time frame, meaning I started marking out my 6-hour, you know, blocks or 6-hour sessions or whatever. So this one right here was quarter one of the daily candle, which is the Asia session, and then the next one is London, and then the next one is New York AM session. So the Asia session for the daily candle on the quarterly theory is going to be X. So this was the continuation of the last quarter, right? So this is X. And then obviously the second one, which is London session, looks like accumulation, right? Just been accumulating. And then the third one is going to be manipulation. So with that in mind, I seen this, right? This was very early pre-market. This was about 2 hours before the market even opened. I was up and about doing my stuff, right? We had a 5-minute breaker here. We swept this low. This is a 5-minute breaker. And then we formed equal highs. So we didn't take this high over here, which was, you know, buy side level right there. We did not take that high. We actually left it. And I had set a limit right here. Actually, I kind of caught it a little bit late. If we go to the 1-minute time frame, I caught it on this candle right here. So I got in a little bit late, but it's totally fine. I seen that tap in that 5-minute fair value gap. I had placed my stop above, or I mean below this low, because I didn't want to see it come and reach all the way down to here. So I was risking a little more than usual, but I had a tighter stop. Okay, so I ended up getting in 4 contracts here and then getting all out up here. Okay, so we took those equal highs and then we took this buy side here, and then we ended up attacking here. So actually, no, I actually ended up, I took it down 573. No, yeah, I did take it up here. So that netted me about $1,400 for the account. Remember, guys, on Friday I kind of went on tilt and I ended up losing about 25. So that loss was bigger than I think any of my winners so far. But that's because, again, it's just, it depends on the trader, man. I was emotional on Friday. I got pissed off because Trade8 logged me out and I couldn't log back in for that hour. And I had seen a setup that, you know, I could have caught if I was logged into Trade8, but it's all fine. It's all good. We're going to bring this account right back up, and we're going to pass this shit this week. I promise you guys. Even if I see another setup here, I'll probably take it on this account. But if I do, I'll go ahead and include it in this video. Again, every single, you know, trade recap, I'm documenting every single trade that I take on this account to show you guys that this is really all you need again. And yeah, guys, I ended up actually taking another dub with the group live here on this 5-minute fair value gap. But that was using a whole different model and a whole different concepts and stuff like that. But yeah, there was actually a 1-minute unicorn here as well, right at open, that I did miss out on. If you go to the 1 minute here, you have, you know, your breaker block right here, sweep a low, and then a fair value gap could have entered here. And then the first, you know, 5-10 minutes of market open just absolutely railed. I could have honestly single-handedly passed the account with just this trade, but I ended up missing it. I don't watch the 1 minute too much, but it's totally fine. We netted 1,400, 1,450 for the day on this account. And we might actually get another setup here in PM session, so I'll be watching that. And if I do, then I'll go ahead and update you guys in the same like video or clip or whatever. But yeah, guys, we are on it. We're doing good. We're gonna bring this account back up. All I need is 4,500 to pass it, and then we can start working on a payout. So hopefully, I don't want to make this video too long, but if it's long and you're watching it and you're this far, hope you're enjoying the series again. Hope you guys are seeing that this is really all you need. And remember, keep your emotions in check, because if I would have kept it in check and if I would have avoided Friday altogether after I didn't see my trade plan, or after my trade plan actually worked out and I didn't see anything else, I would have probably almost been past. I probably would have passed the account almost by now. So totally fine again, guys. We are on it though. But hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are enjoying the series. I will catch you guys in the next trade recap. And if I take another trade today, I will include it in this little clip here, because you guys are tracking the balance, so you guys will see if I'm bullshitting or not. So, and I'm showing the amount that I'm making every single day, so you guys are seeing it in real time. You guys are tracking it, and I'm documenting every single little thing I do on this account for you guys to see that this is really all you need. You just need patience and discipline to really, you know, I'm just proving to you guys it's not the strategy that doesn't work, it's just the trader that's operating the strategy that doesn't work. So as long as you have patience and discipline, man, you can make this shit work. all year round, every day, every month, every week, and it won't stop. So catch you guys in the next trade recap. I'm just yapping away. So catch you guys in the next trade recap. All right, so I told you guys I'd update you guys if I were to take another trade on this account today, and I did end up doing so. So as you guys can see here, this is the execution that I showed you guys earlier from the 5-minute unicorn that I took. There was actually another 5-minute unicorn right here, right? We have a high, low, higher high, sweep stat high, break of structure, and then we have a nice fair value gap right there. So this is our unicorn model. So, you know, it was lunchtime. I don't really trade lunch, but I ended up just taking 2 contracts at 7,843. So I was like around here. After I seen that, you know, we weren't closing any bodies above the fair value gap or the breaker block, I just said, fuck it. Let's go ahead and take a short 2 cons to our, to the sell side over here, to the you know, daily low that was put in for the day in the morning, right? So that's where I ended up taking the contracts off. I actually trimmed a little bit right before it took it out, and then I trimmed the last one right when it took the daily low. So pretty straightforward trade. I mean, it was just a 5-minute unicorn. I got in right here, put my stop right above this candle's high right here. It never got tapped, and then we just flushed down, and I ended up profiting, I think, another like 1,500 actually. Let me see. Let me move my camera so you guys can see. So I think the profit earlier was like 1,400. So I banked like 1,600 on this, and we are up about $3,089. So, and that brings our account balance to 156 again. I think I was at 156.5 at one point, but you know, we started losing a little bit. Totally fine. I'm done for trading for the day though. This is 2 trades. I'm maxing out here. I'm pretty much done. I don't think anything else is going to happen, to be honest. So that was the trade recap and trade update and update for this account. Again, I'm going to try to pass this account this week. I'm not trying to rush anything. I'm just taking unicorns, high probability unicorns from everything I'm teaching you guys. And yeah, hopefully we pass this account this week and we can start working on our payout, and I can get the series to you guys ASAP. So hope you enjoy today's video, or I hope you enjoy today's recap. So I'll catch you guys in the next trade recap in this video. Peace. Alrighty, boys, welcome to the next trading recap. So you guys see, lost I think we lost $1,200 today. Wait, let me make sure. So yeah, we're down about $1,200 at the moment. The morning session is about to end right now, but the reason why I took this trade, guys, was a 1-hour unicorn. As you guys can see, we have a bullish breaker overlapped with a bullish 1-hour fair value gap. Now this setup actually was working right at market open, but as you guys can see to my right, NASDAQ just took a giant shit in the morning. Right when market opened, it just dumped into 1-hour fair value gap that I have shaded in here, and it swept the London low. Now the reason why this setup, in my opinion, was so high quality, and I only ended up buying, it was 5, so this would have passed my account if it would have went in the direction that I wanted it to, but unfortunately it did not. And my stop was, I think, where was my stop at for this account? My stop was at 48.7925, so right below this candle's low right there. Let me go ahead and minimize this here. We are down about $1,200 for this account. So one of the other main reasons why I actually like this setup a lot was because we had a SMT divergence in a higher time frame PD array. Now this low on NQ actually came in at the top of the daily fair value gap, so that's why I like this whole setup here. And right when, you know, market was about to open, I had set limits here in this 1-hour fair value gap, in this 1-hour bullish unicorn, to target this high. And if you guys notice over here too, on this Sunday's 1-hour fair value gap, we were just respecting the crap out of this fair value gap here until this candle closed obviously below it. Like this one closed below it as well with the body, but right away we closed right back above it, and then we pushed up. We had a break of structure, bullish unicorn. The setup was perfect, guys. So I was thinking that we were going to come and take out this high over here, maybe form high of the week, classic high of the week on Tuesday, but we did not. So I ended up losing on this account, and it's totally fine, guys. Again, I'm just taking unicorn setups. I'm trying to take it with really, really good risk management. So I know the other day I went on till on Friday, but it's all good. We're still going to pass this account. I promise you guys that, and get a payout and show you guys this is all you need. But, you know, sometimes losses are going to happen like this, guys. My win rate on this account is probably like a 60-70%, if not a little bit lower. But again, for those of you that obsess over win rate and shit like that, win rate doesn't matter. You can have a 30% win rate and still be net profitable at the end of the month. It matters if you're making money or not, and if you're good at managing that money, right? Capital preservation is key. But this setup was it just looked too good on the 1 hour to not take. So I ended up executing. Wasn't scared. Ended up losing, and that's totally fine. Again, we'll come back in the PM session maybe today if there's a unicorn setup that appears today. We'll go ahead and slap that too with lower risk, probably half size, since today is Tuesday and we don't have any more news for today. I think tomorrow and Thursday and Friday are going to be very high probability days. So when you have moves like this, like last week, the last 2 days of last week, you can expect consolidation to happen. So it was just a good setup, guys. So I ended up losing, totally fine. But that was the whole reason why I ended up taking the setup. Everything looked good. SMT, this 1 hour FVG was holding the candles. There was no body candle closures below it. So that was another confluence. SMT in the higher time frames, break of structure, bullish unicorn, 1 hour fair value gap overlapping with that bullish breaker. Had to slap it, had to try it. We did it. We lost, totally fine. But I will catch you guys in the next trade recap. If I do end up taking another trade today, I'll add it onto this video right here. But yeah, we are down to 154.8, which isn't bad at all. We're halfway there. So just give me a little bit of time. We're going to slap a good ass unicorn and we're going to pass this account and get a payout. Just watch. But catch you guys in the next trade recap. Peace out. All right, guys. I did end up taking a couple more trades today and we came out on fucking top, bro. I made an extra, I think, 441 here. So if you guys remember earlier, I was down about, I think I was down like, let me grab my webcam here. Hold on. I was down about like what, 1400, something like that. So now we're up about 440 on the day. I'll take it. We're going to show you guys the executions, walk you through what I was doing here on this account. And as you guys can see, we're at 156.5. So now we just need 2,500 more bucks. I'm confident I could pass this week and start working on a payout for you guys. So let's get into why I ended up taking these trades. So today was a pretty difficult day, to be honest. At least it was in the morning session, and that's where I got chopped up on the NQ long that I tried taking in the 1 hour unicorn in the little last clip, I guess, of what it's going to be in this video. So I tried taking a 1 hour unicorn long right here in the morning with a bunch of contracts, but unfortunately ended up getting stopped on most of my accounts. But I saved my ammunition for later, because if the AM session is ass and it's not good and it's just not trading well, the PM session is going to be a lot better. Now, you guys notice these horizontal lines here. I was using the quarterly theory by day, but I was using it with the daily quarterly theory, meaning that I'm splitting the sessions up based on the daily candle. So from here, this is the daily candle open, and this is the Asia session. So this looks like accumulation to me. This looks like manipulation, which is London session, right? We take out lows, especially on NQ here. If I were to mark out those horizontal lines or vertical lines there as well, you would see the manipulation a little more clear on NQ. But we split that, right? That's London session manipulation. And then the third one is going to be D, AMDX, right? So distribution was in New York. We obviously took the internal buy side, came down, did not take that low, but it is not required to take that low because, again, we had SMT in a higher time frame PD array. We had a bunch of SMTs here, and NQ kept taking lows. ES was not taking lows. It was refusing to. And then at the last quarter, which is X, which stands for reversal or continuation of the previous quarter, we obviously reversed, right? So this quarter came down. This quarter obviously reversed, which stands for X. So that was just a good thing to have in the background to increase my conviction in this trade. So I'm going to let you guys know here, it was a unicorn trade, but I ended up getting spooked and I did get out, but I had to re-enter, and I re-entered on a 1 minute unicorn. So as you guys can see, we have a 15-minute fair value gap, nice displacement. Remember, speed and displacement are key always. So as soon as we get into the X phase of the daily candle for NYPM session, we start coming into here. We see this 15-minute displacement. We go to the 5 minute real quick. Now this is where the magic starts to happen, right? So I see a 5 minute unicorn here, right? We take this candle right here. Boom, we drag that out right there. Bada bang, bada boom. We drag that out right there, right? This is a 5 minute bullish unicorn, right? We have a high, we have a low, sweep that high, break that low. This becomes your bullish breaker on the 5 minute. We drag that out. We fail to displace higher until we come over here and we get that 15-minute nice displacement right there on the 15-minute candle. So I ended up longing about 2 contracts here at 480, which was a little bit of a chase up here. The reason for that was because of the 15-minute fair value gap and this the top of the breaker on this 5-minute bullish breaker right here. So I ended up buying 2 right there, and then I ended up buying another one when we came down to here right at 471. So right around here in this area, back in this 5-minute fair value gap. So this is a 5-minute bullish unicorn if you drag the breaker out. And then unfortunately I ended up getting spooked, and just price action was so horrible today. Like if you guys were trading today, which was the 23rd of January, like it was just agonizing to watch this price action. I was gonna go to the gym. Like I was really just considering closing charts, going to the gym, because I wasn't watching like any of this price action because I already knew that AM session was gonna be like this. Just watching the first hour and a half of market session, I just knew that PM session was going to be a lot cleaner, so I'd just come back for the PM session. But when I came back, like 30 minutes before PM session, I was noticing this displacement, and I was just like, man, the price action has just been going sideways for whenever I got in. Price action has just been going sideways for an hour and a half. So I was sitting here watching this for an hour and a half, and then I just decided to get out, right? I sold 3 at 467, so literally pretty much the bottom of here. I sold at the bottom of this 5-minute breaker, and I failed to realize, I was like, damn, bro, we held the 5-minute breaker. This 5-minute bullish fair value gap, did it close under? That's why I actually closed it at the close of this candle, because it closed under that 5-minute fair value gap, and that bullish fair value gap right here, the 5-minute one, was being respected by the bodies. So as soon as I seen this candle closure, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get out. I'm going to go on about my day. And then that's when that 1-minute bullish unicorn started to happen. That's when I re-entered. You guys can't be scared to re-enter, because I was bullish at the beginning of the day. I was expecting higher prices for this buy side to get taken out. And as you guys see, this is caught live. It just took it out after hours, but beautiful executions, right? Beautiful fucking price action in the PM session, right? But anyways, closed it out here because I was anticipating ES to potentially come down and make a bearish unicorn to take out these relative equal lows. Again, these relative equal lows don't have to get taken out. I was just expecting it because of this 5-minute candle closure below this fair value gap. But then again, shit started to happen on the 1-minute, right? We respected the bottom of this breaker here perfectly, and then we started pushing up. And now we had a bullish breaker on NQ on the 1-minute right there. I noticed that a little bit too late, but that's totally fine because I know the draw on liquidity and it was higher. And then we have a 1-minute bullish fair value gap right there. So I entered about 3 contracts at 480. So I did chase a little bit at this candle because I missed my entry here. And that's totally fine because I was aiming for all this low resistance liquidity right here, all this buy side right here. And then my higher time frame, my external buy side, was all the way up here, which I started watching the 15-minute at this point. When I got in, I stopped watching the 1-minute. I just came back to the 15-minute. We have a 5-minute unicorn and then 15-minute bullish fair value gap that was holding. No bodies of the candles were closing below the 50% of this 15-minute bullish fair value gap, and we just started displacing up, and I like that. I ended up taking 2 off at 516, which was low-hanging fruit, and then I ended up taking the last one right when we swiped this buy side, this external buy side that I was aiming for. And then that's how I made pretty much all my profits back. On this trade right here, though, where I chickened out and pussied out and didn't hold, I did end up losing about, I think, 700. So my P&L was like down 1,800 or 1,900 for the day. But I recouped all of that plus more, and we ended the day at 441.52. So now my balance sits at 156.511. So let's go, guys. We ended the day good. Wasn't scared to execute on my motto again, because I know the draw on liquidity quarterly theory helped out a lot. So shout out Trader Day. But I will catch you guys in the next trade recap. I've been sitting here way too long. I'm going to go hit the gym. So hopefully in the next 1 or 2 more clips, I'll pass this account and then we can start working on a payout. So catch you guys in the next trade recap. Do tell us over, and it's far from over. Bottles on me, long as someone drinking, never drop the ball. Fuck is y'all thinking? All right, boys and girls. So, finish the fucking account. I'm hyped. 159, that's what we needed to get to. I'm going to go ahead and break down these trades really, really quick. And now the real challenge starts here. Okay, I'm going to show you guys the whenever Top Step updates at 5 Central Standard Time. I'm I'm going to show you guys like the win rate, the analytics, the stats and stuff like that. So whenever that updates, I'll show you guys that for this account. But let's go ahead and break down these trades, because now the real challenge starts. Now I'm going to have to trade the unicorns to get a payout and show you guys again that this is all you need for 2024 to get funded and a payout on any firm. So let's go ahead and start this bad boy here. Let's go ahead and start on the first trade I ended up taking, which I did alert live in the Discord. And as you guys can see, let me go ahead and move my camera over just a little bit so you guys can see how much we made today. We made about 2,500, which was what was needed to pass the account. So let me go ahead and minimize this so that way I can start breaking down these trades for you guys. Let me go ahead and maximize this right here. So starting off the morning, we had our buy side level up here at 17,700. That was the higher time frame buy side with the contract changes button on, which is the B/ADJ. So we had that buy side left, and I did not want to short initially here at this 5-minute unicorn right here. I did not want to short this, and I was telling the stream, on live, I was like, the reason why I don't want to short this because we already swept this low over here, which was a pre-market NY low. And we had buy side, right? Price looked like it just fell really, really short from sweeping that buy side. So I did not want to, enter short. But I honestly ended up doing so because I noticed at the same time that ES was creating a lot of equal lows. And then we had a 1 hour fair value gap that I was very confident that we were going to draw to. And we had a bunch of low resistance liquidity over here, right? We had relative equal lows right above that 1 hour fair value gap. So I decided to take a very small short scalp, but it actually netted me like $400 or $500 or something like that. So I got in up here and sold down here before the whole move reversed. And again, these equal lows can stay equal lows because what? SMT, right? And what did I say about SMTs in the series? SMTs are very high probable when it happens in a higher time frame PE rate. So you guys see me, I'm trading on the 5-minute time frame. The SMT here between NQ and ES at these lows happened in a 1 hour fair value gap. That's the whole reason why I got out. So I hope you guys understand that, okay? Now, I ended up taking a trade on ES here as well. I ended up doing a very, very light trade here, and it was actually on the 3-minute time frame. So if we go here on the 3-minute time frame, we have a breaker block, a bullish breaker block right here on the 3-minute time frame, and a fair value gap. So I ended up stabbing, I think, one contract, and I got all out once it swept these relative equal highs up here. So that ended me at the day, in the morning at least, it ended me up like $800, $850 or something like that. I don't quite remember the number, but it was something around that ballpark. And the last trade that I took, actually, let me go ahead and show you guys something real quick as well. So I want to show you guys the quarterly theory and how powerful it is in increasing your conviction and confirming your bias for the day. So, I was using the 90-minute cycles today. So this looks like straight accumulation, right, on both indexes. So if it's accumulation in the first quarter, it's going to be AMDX. There's no other way around it. It's either XAMD or AMDX. So if this is accumulation, this is manipulation, and then this is distribution, right? We push up, sweep high, we have an SMT here, we distribute lower, we take out sell side, and while we're in this distribution phase, this is where the moves start happening, right? And now we go into the X phase, which means reversal or continuation of the previous quarter. Now, what did this previous quarter do? We pushed up. It obviously was reversing, and I actually missed out on a really, really super nice, let me go ahead and turn this off. I missed out on a very beautiful 15-minute unicorn bullish breaker right here. Drag that out. We have a fair value gap. It was honestly a really beautiful unicorn. I didn't end up taking it because I wasn't paying attention to the charts and I was actually in the gym, but I would have slapped this all day. And there was one also on the 5-minute on ES. Yeah, there was one on the 5-minute. Bullish breaker right here. Drag that out. Fair value gap. Refused to close below it. Refused to close a body below it, and then we pushed up, obviously attacking these highs, but NQ went a lot higher. And the final trade that I ended up taking today was just on NQ. Let me go ahead and turn on these drawings so you guys can see. So I was telling the stream earlier this week, I think on Monday, or no, yesterday on Tuesday, because today's Wednesday. I was telling them, depending on the price action for Tuesday, if we were to push down, that's when we were going to create the low of the week. If we were to come down and trend down on Tuesday, we were most likely going to create the low of the week on Wednesday or Thursday, just going based off the economic calendar. And today, which is Wednesday, if you guys don't know, 75 to 80% of the time, highs or low of weeks are put in on Wednesday or Thursday. So I do believe that this is the high of the week. We'll have to see what happens tomorrow, but I do believe this is the high of the week. We've swept all buy side. We've swept all liquidity, even with the B/ADJ off. Literally all liquidity has been swept. We're floating around or above all-time highs. I do expect some sort of pullback to come in on the bigger time frame. So I'm going to be calling the high of the week here. Anyways, that's what I was watching for going into PM session today, okay? So we ended up getting a sweep here, nice speed and displacement. So I started waiting for this 5-minute candle to close, and once it closed, I had set limits originally on the ES 5-minute unicorn right here, right? We have a breaker block, sweep of liquidity, low, high, displacement down, fair value gap. So this was a 5-minute unicorn up here. Ignore the indicator real quick because, I mean, that's valid as well, but I was looking for this one up here when it formed, right? So I had limits here and they never got hit. And then I noticed NQ getting hit. And I was like, okay, I'm going to just take this on this account so I could pass it already, because I was very, very confident that we were going to go to these relative equal lows down here and that low and all these equal lows that were left in the morning. I was very, very confident that we were going to go down there. And guess what? We ended up going down there. I would have held this on the challenge account, but for what? I took it out as soon as I hit the 159 target. I was like, you know what? I'm out. I'm done with this account. So now we work on the payout. I know this might be a long video, but I hope you guys have been enjoying these breakdowns of every single trade. I've documented every single trade that I've taken on this account, and I'm doing it for free for you guys so you guys could learn where and why I'm taking these unicorn setups and all the convictions, the extra things I'm putting in my trading plans to increase conviction and confirm bias, like for example, the quarterly theory. I hope you guys are enjoying all this, right? I'm giving it to you guys for free. So I'm just showing that, you know, this is really all you need. And honestly, when I was trading all this, dude, ICT was getting stopped. And no hate to ICT. This is where I learned all of this, right? But ICT, he was live streaming in the morning and his stop was my entry. And I'm just throwing that in there, all right? It felt kind of good. I was like, damn, I kind of faded the Grandmaster or whatever, and I was right. But anyways, we passed the account. I'm on a high one. I'm just gonna, you know, relax, take it easy, go celebrate. But yeah, guys, it was a good day. I made a lot of money on my funded accounts, and I passed this challenge account. So we did good, guys. We're doing good. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next trade recap. Now we're gonna start working on our payout, and I'm gonna show you guys the stats whenever Top Step updates its dashboard at 5 Central Standard Time, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. So whenever they update that, I'm going to show you guys the dashboard so you guys can see the win rate, the average RR, or whatever, for those of you that care. Okay, so catch you guys in the hopefully the payout phase. So there's going to be a couple more trades. All I got to do is complete 5 days over $200, and then we'll be able to submit a payout. So very, very excited to do that with you guys and in front of you guys, and to prove again, once and for all, you only need to focus on one thing. This whole series playlist is just to prove that you only need to just focus. It's focus on one thing. It can be super simple, but you guys make it so complicated. I promise you guys, this is all you need. So catch you guys in the next recap. I'm just yapping away. Peace. Okay, what is up, everybody? So we passed the account. I'm just going to go through the stats here really quick just so I could show you guys what it ended up looking like after we have passed the account. So I bought this account on January 8th, and I didn't start trading on it till January 9th, and we passed it on the 24th of January. So it took a whole 12 trading days, a whole 12 full trading days, okay, which isn't a lot. Most of you might think it's a lot, and most of you probably try to pass accounts in like 2 days, which is, I don't even know, dude. Don't try to rush it, guys. When you're buying challenge accounts, take this shit serious. So I just proved to you guys that you guys can pass these accounts with just unicorn setups. It might take a little bit, but with just unicorn setups, identifying unicorn setups and slapping them, okay? Now, as you guys could see, weekly P&L, 6,000, passed the account. The best day was 3K. My worst day was 24.96. Average winning day, average losing day. Because I had a couple losses, as you guys seen, that was a little more than some of my winners. But that's because, again, like on that Friday, for example, I just went on tilt. My emotions got the best of me, but we came back on top. I told you guys we would. And as you guys can see here, this is the equity curve for the account. I never hit the max daily loss limit because it was just no point to, right? I was very close on this Friday. And then we got it right back up with those high quality unicorn setups. And then we hit the profit target on the 24th. So I did get my funded account today. And I actually did place a unicorn trade on it, which actually worked out in our favor. And I'm going to go ahead and show you guys that after I show you guys the stats for this challenge account. But as you guys can see, Risk to reward on average was about a 1.84. Okay, this isn't bad. This is good. Winning trade percentages was 58%. Average winning trade 1.1K. Average losing trade 628. And these were pretty much my stats right here. If you guys want to look at them, for those that really care about this. But yeah, guys, these were the stats, and these were my P&Ls, as you guys could see. This was on that Friday when I lost 2,500. But I had bigger winners in my losses, so I guess it balances out. But yeah, these were pretty much the stats here. All right, guys, that's it. So winning day 82%. What else can I show you guys here? There's not much else, but you guys could pause the screen, look at this data here. And this was just to prove to you guys that you could pass an account just focusing on one model, one setup, and doing everything I taught in the series. So awesome stuff, guys. Here, actually, let me go all time. Okay, so here's the full equity curve. Nice. So see, just a steady up and down, right? Up, down, up, down, up, pass. Okay, this is what your equity curve should look like, similar to this, right? Just small increments of up. Sometimes it'll go down because losses are inevitable, right? Sometimes it'll be shorter dips, not longer dips, because sometimes your emotions get the best of you, and that's okay as long as you can manage risk and actually step away, right? It's just a steady equity curve up. So let me go ahead and show you guys the setup that I took on the Fresh Express funded Top Step account. So that is next after this one. All right, boys. So this is the Fresh Top Step account. As you guys can see here on the right, we made about 752 buckaroonies. So it would have been a little more, but let me go ahead and explain what I ended up doing here. Okay, let me go ahead and draw these equal lows because that's where I took the profit here. So, okay, so today, which was January 25th, it is a Thursday. Is it a Thursday? Yeah, it's a Thursday. So Thursday, January 25th, I was telling the stream, right? I was telling the members that were accepted early into my Discord. It was 100 plus people in the stream, and I was telling you guys that there was no high quality setups here. I'm waiting and I'm watching this 1 hour bearish fair value gap, right? We are in OTE of this range. Let me go ahead and minimize this. We are in the OTE of this range right here. So if I take out my Fibonacci, mark this out, the 0.62 and the 0.79, this is OTE. We were in the middle of it. 1 hour bearish fair value gap. We have broken structure. We're accumulating down here. So it just points, all the price action that happened today just points to bearish price action and lower prices, right? Especially on ES. If I go to ES really quick, you guys will see same situation here. No body candle closure in OTE of this displacement leg, and we have very clean equal lows that I do believe we take out tomorrow, which is Friday. Now, if we go back to NQ real quick, same exact thing, right? OTE, accumulation down here, manipulation, and then we start distribution, right? It's a classic power of three, or AMD, accumulation, manipulation, distribution. So if we go to the 5 minute, I told everybody, you know what, AM isn't moving how I want it. I want to see a unicorn, and we actually did end up taking a 1 minute unicorn here, but it wasn't on this challenge account. It was on my other accounts, and we actually did end up winning. It was a very short scalp. We got stopped in profits after we trailed our stop loss. I posted that on Twitter as well, so some of you might have seen it. Anyways, going into the PM session here, right at lunch, right, we formed the lunchtime high right here, and then we had an SMT between NASDAQ and ES. So if I go to the 5 minute here, you guys will see that. So we have an SMT there, and then we get our speed and displacement here, breaker block, right, 5 minute fair value gap. I had set a limit right here at first, right, and then I seen this other 5 minute candle start to form, so I was like, okay, we might not get tapped in, so I'm just going to go ahead and market entry right here in this 5 minute fair value gap, place my stop above this candle's high, and then aim for the external liquidity, which was all the way down here, but I just ended up taking profit down here. But let me show you guys this, right? From this entry over here, which was one contract, I ended up getting stopped because I trailed it to I just trailed it in profit, right, which was like $50. It wasn't a whole bunch because I got filled pretty late here since it was a market entry. It was at 67975, so it was like all the way down here. It was like right here. So I trailed my stop to like break even. I made like $10 on this, and I got stopped right here. But I re-entered here on this unicorn, right? We have our high, low, higher high, failed to close a body above the fair value gap. Remember, wicks do the damage, bodies tell the story. Look at the CE of this 5-minute fair value gap, no closure above it either. Displacement leg down, and then I got in 2 contracts right here on NASDAQ, and then I got all out at these equal lows. I could have held a runner down to here, but again, it's a fresh account. I don't want to, just hold runners or whatever. I just want to take my profit fast. I want to build up that drawdown quick, that $4,500 drawdown, and I want to start building on top of that, so that way I have a lot more drawdown to work with later, so that way I could risk a lot more on this account and make more money. So that was the recap of the first trade on the funded account. I hope you guys have been enjoying this series. I hope you guys have been enjoying this long ass video. I know it's like an hour and 50 minutes, I think, because I just edited, I just put together all the clips from the challenge account trades, and it was like an hour and 40. So hopefully it doesn't go over 2.5 hours on this video. I didn't want to break it down into small parts either, because that would have been a lot of videos. So I just compiled it into one. So if you made it this far and you are enjoying this video, please leave me a like. Please share the series with somebody who needs to simplify their trading. Let me know how I'm doing. If you enjoy the content, leave a comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, because I'm bringing hella videos out to you guys for free in 2024 and the years to come. So I also just launched my own private Discord, which is called Top Floor Trading. We are currently trending #1 on WAP. Upon launch, we got to the #1 spot, so I appreciate all of you. Thank you again, and I hope I am helping you and giving you a bunch of freaking value this year. So catch you guys in the next trade recap. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this quick little trade recap here. So as you guys can see, I got the balance up to $1,000 this week. This was a break-even trade right here. I ended up losing it was just pretty much break-even. So nothing too crazy there, but I'm going to show you guys why I ended up taking that trade. And then this one's the one that netted me. I think we're up. Let's see. We are up $250 for the day. So I'm going to show you guys what trade I took to make me net that. And I've only taken 2 trades on this account today. Yesterday, the account was up like 750, I think, or 760 or something like that. You guys can figure that out. But let's go to the 1-minute chart. So I wasn't really rushing any sort of trade here for today. I was kind of just chilling, to be honest. We've been on a pretty hot streak this week, but anyways, I seen a 1-minute unicorn here on ES, right? We started pushing up. I was bearish going into the day. I didn't take any trades like early morning. I wanted to wait. So that's what I did. I waited, and then we had I think we actually had a unicorn model on the 1 hour on NQ. But we started pushing up here in the morning, an hour after market open, and then we swiped this high, which was Wednesday's high, an hour and a half into market open. And then I started zooming into the 1 minute. I was like, okay, there's probably going to be a unicorn somewhere here, because when ES swiped this high up here, we had a very big SMT on like the 1 hour, and Q was very, very weak. So then I seen this unicorn here, right? We have a breaker block, fair value gap. I took a stab short here with 3. And then I got all out right here because I didn't want this to reverse. We were in a 15-minute fair value gap, but it was a very, very quick scalp. Obviously, if I would have held this, I would have made a lot more money, targeting these equal lows down here, or even these equal lows that formed right here, but perfectly fine, guys. Like I said, I'm just making it to the payout, so I need 5 days above $200 to make it to the payout. And that's exactly what I'm doing. Like I said, Friday, I wasn't trying to rush a trade. I just wanted to get my $200 and get out of the market. It's exactly what I did. And I did try one more short down here. The reason for this short was because when we started selling off in lunch, right, we left a 15-minute unicorn here, right? We have a breaker block right here. Remember, when you have 2 consecutive candles like this, you can group them together. So you drag that out. You have your fair value gap. I went short in the top of this 15-minute fair value gap. And then if we go to the 5-minute here, we had a fair value gap right there. So then I ended up placing my stop loss at break even pretty much, and ended up stopping me out here. And that is how I ended up making $250 for the day and bringing my account balance to $1,000, almost $1,000 flat, $1,003. So we'll see what next week has in store for us. We have a ton of news. We got FOMC, we got Jolt's jobs, we have what else? We have a lot of news next week. So we'll see what next week has in store for us, and then hopefully next week I can do I can make it to a payout, record that video, and be done with the series. and bring the series to you guys. So if you guys have been enjoying the series so far, please leave a like, comment what you guys think, share this with somebody that needs to see this series so they can become a profitable trader in 2024 and get funded and get paid out. Okay, that's the most important thing, get paid out. What's it worth being funded if you can't get paid out? So catch you guys in the next trade recap. Peace. All right, boys, welcome to this next trade recap. Now, I was super busy today between the group and then real life stuff. Actually, I have some family over right now, so had to pull away from them so I could record this video. But yeah, so we ended up making about $500 some. It was around 568 bucks. I did take a few trades on here, and I was down about 791 on this account at one point. And I'm going to go over all these trades. Pretty much, I'm going to go and walk you through this tweet that I ended up tweeting here. This was pretty much the gist of where my losses came from. And then one more that I took personally. So let me go ahead and walk you guys through all this, right? So took two very small L's on stream, which was a loss of $350. We'll go over those as well. Last two trades was one loss, one win. I tried taking along in the 1 minute unicorn with a very tight stop. Unfortunately, got stopped. That's where the extra 400 bucks came from. Noticed a unicorn on the 5 minute and then immediately took it, and that's where I made all my profits back. Now, obviously, I made a little more on a couple more scalps later on in the day. I didn't see anything too convincing. I just quickly scalped, and that's where the 568 comes from. It was like 68 bucks. And I'll walk you guys through everything. I can't pull up the executions anymore because it's too late in the day. But yeah, let's go ahead and walk through this really quick. So here, I'll just go ahead and walk you guys through it on the screenshot. So we ended up taking a unicorn here. Now the draw on liquidity was lower into this 1 hour fair value gap, which were these relative equal lows and equal lows right here. That's what we were aiming for, but unfortunately got stopped out right at market open. About 5 minutes into market open, we swept internal into this old unicorn right here. I unfortunately did not get into any trades right there. I know some members did. And then we pushed down, had a nice displacement, and then we use this inverse. I was trying to use this inverse fair value gap here for a short, but unfortunately, again, got stopped out. And then eventually price just chopped its way down to those equal lows right there. And then we pushed up. And obviously, if we go to the 1 minute here, this is where I entered with two cons, came down and stopped me out where I had my stop there. But immediately I got right back in with 3 contracts. And then I ended up taking profit at these internal highs right here because we had SMT with ES. But then I ended up taking another trade somewhere over here. Let me go to the 1 minute really quick. I ended up taking a very, very short scalp on NQ with 1 contract, and I got out for like 75 bucks. It was right here in this 1 minute unicorn. We have a breaker right there, sweep a high, displacement down, fair value gap. I seen the reaction here. We were not closing bodies above the fair value gap here on the 1 minute. And then we came down, I entered 1 contract. I got out down here when I noticed that we had SMT with ES. So I ended up banking like 60, 75 bucks or something like that. But it wasn't anything crazy. And then I ended up taking a few more scalps on this account, super small scalps. They're not even worth mentioning in my opinion. Those just kept going back to break even, and they were shorts. So like I ended up taking another short here, back to break even, immediately set my stuff to break even because there was an SMT there. And then that's where like those 11 or 12 trades come from. Super small scalps, nothing crazy, but that was pretty much it for the recap. We are up to 1,500 on this, and now we have a total of 3 winning days over 200 bucks. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this trade recap. It was a very, very quick one, guys. I'm so sorry because I have some family over if you guys hear it in the background, but I just wanted to come and make this trade recap before I forget to make it tomorrow. I just wanted to squeeze in this trade recap super, super fast for you guys, but you guys know we are at 1,500 for this Express account, okay? So we made 752, about 250, and then 568 today. So hopefully we can keep the streak going for another 2 days, and then we can get paid out, and I can start uploading this series. So catch you guys in the next trade recap. Peace out. What is going on, guys? Welcome to the next trade recap. In this funded account, we ended up losing about 441 bucks. Now, I I got back late. Okay, I was doing a bunch of stuff. I was busy between the group and just a bunch of other projects I got working in the works right now. So I got here late. I can't share the executions because again, Top Step resets that shit, so I can't share it. But the only trade I ended up taking, and it was an L, the only trade I ended up taking today was this 15-minute unicorn right here. I'm going to go over it super, super fast and why I decided to take it. This I did actually call out in the Discord, but on this particular account, I had my stop way too tight on this. I entered somewhere around here. I think it was like 49, 47.50, and then I had my stop at this candle's low. On the other accounts, on some of my other ones, I had my stop down here, but on this funded account, I didn't want to risk too much, so I ended up having my stop right here. And unfortunately, I got wicked out of that position, and that's really the only one I ended up taking for today. And the reason why I ended up taking this unicorn here is because if you notice, the bodies of these candles are respecting this first 15-minute fair value gap. Remember, bodies tell the story, wicks do the damage, right? And at these lows right here, if we go to NQ, NQ was slowly sliding down and it was refusing to make new highs, while ES was chilling in this 15-minute fair value gap. So this was a valid long, a valid bullish unicorn, super valid longs. I just had my stop way, 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 way too tight right here on this account, and it would have been a dub on this account, and I would have had my third over $200 day. But nonetheless, we're still up on this account. We're up $1,000, 1,100, not too shabby. I think we'll get a payout by the end of this week, hopefully, if we don't take any more L's this week, and we can hopefully, get above $200 for the next 2 days. Just 2 more winning days above $200 is all we need to get a payout. So, yeah, this was pretty much the only trade I ended up taking. And again, I apologize for coming back late. I just don't have time to record these quick videos. I should do them right after I do the trade, but I had a lawyer's meeting this morning, and then I had to do a bunch of other stuff. And then I was in between with the groups doing streams with them and just a bunch of other things that I have in the works for you guys, and, making a PDF for you and just a bunch of other stuff that I feel like is a little more important right now. But nonetheless, I'm still bringing you these trade recaps. I'm showing you the P&L day by day, so you guys are seeing that I'm only taking unicorn setups. But yeah, solid unicorn setup here. Bullish unicorn, respecting the 15-minute fair value gap with the bodies. Body still a story. Wicks do the damage. Had SMT at the lows. There was an SMT occurring on a higher time frame PDA rate, which was a 1 hour fair value gap, I believe. Yeah, we had SMTs going on all over in the morning, and it just looked good, right? ES looked perfect. We had equal highs up here, and we came up. We left those, and obviously we attacked them later, but there was no unicorn around here. But yeah, that was pretty much the only trade I ended up taking on this account. Again, my stops were way too tight. I should have put them below this candle's low here because I should have anticipated, more wicks or something, because on the 5-minute, this looked like it wanted to slide down and take out that low, right? But I wasn't paying attention to the 5-minute. I was busy talking to a lawyer right when I got into this trade. So yeah, guys, that's what happened today. So if you guys are enjoying this video, again, leave me a like, comment, sub, share this series with somebody that needs to see this series so they can get funded and get paid out. But yeah, catch you guys in the next trade recap. Hope you guys are enjoying the series. Peace. All right, boys. So as you guys could see here, we brought the account back up about $1,000 today. If I move my camera here, you guys see that we made $991. So I actually got back in time to recap this super quick trade that we took. It was FOMC day. I ended up calling the market like to the tick, bro. Every single move I called out here in live in front of 100 other people in the Discord. And I just want to recap this trade super quick because I also have another trade recap and review charting session with the members inside the private Discord here in about an hour. So I just wanted to get this over with really quick, but ended up banking $1,000 here with 2 contracts on ES. And the reason for it was because, again, this orange box up here was a 1 hour fair value gap. We swept sell side, but we also had relative equal lows and sell side here. If I go to the 1 hour here, we have relative equal lows over there. That's the sell side that we swept. The whole weekly outlook was 2AT. I told you guys we were going to come and sweep all this liquidity here and these relative equal lows. That was the main target for this week. And we still have NFP, so I'm excited to see what we can do with that. But we are $200 day winning day over 200 bucks away from actually being able to withdraw from this account, and we are sitting at a comfortable 2K now. Reason for this trade, though, as you guys can see, obviously you guys are accustomed to seeing unicorns now, but 5-minute unicorn displaced below this low. This is our breaker block, our bearish breaker block. However, this is our bearish breaker block here. I had this marked a little bit wrong because I was looking at the 15-minute unicorn as well. In case we tapped into it, I was planning to add there. But again, relative equal lows, price looked like it was drawing down to there. I got tapped in on the 5-minute fair value gap, placed my stop above the candle's high, and this was like a 1-to-1, a slightly negative RR, but I was very confident in the drawn liquidity, and we ended up, banking $1,000 on this move. It's just a super simple. This was a super simple unicorn, straightforward unicorn, super simple. As long as you know the drawn liquidity, you can chase. You can chase with light size. And you could take unicorns that are down here as well, as long as you know as long as you have a very clear drawn liquidity, you know where it's going to go. Smack that shit, bro. I would advise that you smack it. So SMT at these highs, displaced below these lows. 5-minute unicorn as well on NQ. That one actually worked out as well. Tap of the breaker and fair value gap. Boom. There was a 15-minute one there as well. So just a bunch of confluences here to validate our trade and give us conviction and confirm our bias for our trade. Again, I was watching this 1 hour fair value gap because that was pretty much the whole plan going into the day. When FOMC was popping up, I was planning on, I was looking to see price tap into this 1 hour fair value gap and then come down to sweep everything, all this sell side down here. And it's exactly what happened. But this is why you wait for candle closures. Wicks do the damage, bodies tell the story. So again, 5-minute attack there on the 5-minute unicorn, drawn liquidity, got out there. I took the low-hanging fruit objective, so you can't go broke taking profits. So that was pretty much it for the trade recap, guys. Hope you guys are enjoying it. So we only need one more winning day, over 200 bucks, and we're able to withdraw, and this series comes to completion. And I hope you guys are enjoying the series. Hope you guys are learning a lot from all these trade recaps and stuff. But yeah, hope you guys are doing well. If you guys want to join the private Discord, hopefully by this time this comes out before the sale ends, I have a Valentine's Day sale going on right now. You get 15% off your membership as long as you keep your subscription active. It'll stay 15% off forever. So use code Valentine at checkout. This does expire February 15th at midnight. So if it's still on, it's still on. If it's not, it's not. So all right, boys, catch you guys in the next trade recap. All right, everybody, welcome to the last trade recap. So we finally did it. Now we are eligible for a payout after the top step thing resets here at 5 p.m. CST. But as you guys can see, we made about 362 bucks. It originally was about 900 bucks, but I ended up taking one more shot at a potential unicorn here in the PM session, but it ended up failing. I seen that we were pushing up a little too much, and yeah, I just ended up getting out. So I want to review the first trade here that I ended up taking in pre-market on ES. So if you guys notice, I'm not even going to mark out the unicorn here. I can let you guys pause the video and you guys could just find the unicorn here on the 15-minute. But we have this 15-minute fair value gap, and then the breaker blocks over here. So you pause the video and mark it out on your own, but you guys should know what a unicorn looks like now. So ended up taking a stab right here. I think I went 2 contracts right there or 3 contracts at the tap of the fair value gap. I got in like right here, had my stop right here, and I was just aiming for these relative equal lows. I was very confident in the draw, so I just ended up getting out right when we swept them, and that netted me about like 900 bucks. And then if we go over here on NQ, this is the other trade I took. Now I pushed my luck here and I tried a NQ short on this potential unicorn right here. Our breaker block would have been down here. I seen the displacement and now we're actually pushing down. So it's just wrong timing on my part, but I tried taking a short right here. It was only one con, and I seen us, close above the 5-minute fair value gap, and I just ended up getting out right there. So it was a loss of about like $600, like 550, I think is what it was. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to take any more trades today, to be honest, because all I needed was a $200 trade. So I will update you guys here on the Top Step dashboard once the thing resets, and then I could show you guys that I'm eligible for a payout. I don't think I'm going to take the payout yet because we're only at 2,400 or 2,500. So I want to grow this account up to at least 20,000 and then take a 10K payout. But I'm going to show you guys that, again, I'm proving to you guys here that this is literally all you need. You manage your risk properly and you can get to a payout, and you just keep stacking it up like that, right? With risk management, great risk management, and you just execute on your model, which is the unicorn model. It's all you need in 2024 to get funded and get paid out. And I'm going to prove that to you guys here in the next clip. So catch you guys in that next clip right now. All right, guys, so it is now 5 p.m. CST, and now the dashboard has updated. As you guys can see here, 5 winning days of 200 plus, total 5. So now I am eligible for a payout of half of this amount. So I could withdraw 50% of this amount if I choose to, but I am not going to. I'm actually going to run up this account to at least $20,000, so that way I could withdraw 10,000 or 90% of that. Since I've already withdrew over 10,000 from Top Step, they're not going to let me keep the first 10K, right? Because Top Step has a rule where you can keep your first 10K, but after that, it's going to be 90-10 split. So I'm going to try to run this up to a 20K balance and then withdraw from that. So that way I can get 90% of that, which is, what is that, like 9K or 10, I don't know, something like that, like 9K, 10K. So I'm going to run this up actually, but as you guys can see, I've shown you guys throughout this whole video that all you need are just unicorn setups with strict risk management. You execute. Sometimes you're going to lose. Sometimes you're going to win. Most of the time you are going to win though, but it's just all about managing your risk. And as you guys can see, worst day 441, best day 991. We have 83% winning days. So as you guys can see, there's a nice little equity curve here. We took a little down day right here. Boom, boom. Just nice, steady uptrend right here. We'll notice the stats right here. If you notice here, 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio is what I've been taking really on this account. If you guys notice, the balance on this account isn't super, super high. So, it ain't nothing crazy, but here are the stats for this account. But yeah, it ain't nothing super crazy, guys. But the winning trade percentages is 75%. So off of 1-to-1, and we still make money. Like we're up here, dude. We can withdraw now if we so choose to. But as you guys could see here, I'm going to block out my personal information right here. But current balance is that balance that we have in that Express account. All I have to just click is my trading dashboard has 5 winning recorded days with a net P&L of 200 or more. Right, we have that. I just showed you guys that, and then the payout does not exceed 50% of my current account balance. So I could withdraw just 50% of this, whatever 50% of that is, or just a little bit less, whatever. You pretty much just type that in, and then you can click this, and then you have to upload your W-9 or whatever, and then you submit that. And that is pretty much it. We've successfully passed the challenge account, recorded every single trade. We've successfully made it to a payout. I've recorded every single trade. So this is just proof. I'm living proof that you can do this with just unicorn setups. You can pass challenges. You can get payouts. That's literally it. Who else is doing this for you? Nobody's doing this for you. Nobody's taking their fucking time out of their day to go document every single trade they take on a challenge account. Pass it, and not only just pass it, but go and record every single trade they do to make it to a payout. Nobody is doing that for you for free, because anybody in this fucking social media world, bro, are passing accounts, but they're blowing them. That's why they don't record themselves to a payout. They don't record themselves. They might record themselves passing the challenge, but where the fuck is a payout? Passing a challenge ain't shit. Passing a challenge is nothing if you blow the account. A certificate is nothing if you blow the account. The payout is what matters, bro. The payout is what fucking matters. And I'm going to run this account up to like 20K, 15K, somewhere around there, and take a payout. And then I could just keep building on this account. And I'm sure I will update you guys later on down the line with another video on this account. If I don't, I probably blew it. So just point blank period. But no, I'm going to get a payout with this account, guys, for sure. I'm going to try to get it up to around 15 to 20K and get a payout. And I'll update you guys on social media. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I'll update you guys there with this account and stuff. So we'll see how far we can take it with just taking unicorns. So this account specifically, this Express account, this funded account with Top Step, I'm just going to be using for just strictly unicorn setups. That's literally it. I want to see how far we can get with it with just unicorn setups. I obviously have other funded accounts that I use with other concepts and models, but I also use it with the unicorn model as well. But I use other things as well, like just other models and stuff that I may teach on this channel later. But that is pretty much it, guys. Hope you guys have enjoyed this long ass video. Please leave me a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think of this video, and share this playlist with somebody that needs to see this playlist in 2024 to get funded and get paid out. Show them how simple this model is. If this series has changed your view on the markets or has helped you simplify your trading plan, let me know in the comments, man, because that really makes my day. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Super long video. I apologize for that, but I'll catch you guys in the outro of this video if I do decide to make one. I think I will, but if not, hope you guys enjoy your day. Hope you guys enjoy this playlist. And yeah, this concludes the series. Had fun making this, man. So catch you guys in the next video as always. Peace.